Is there any way we can lock
Yeah.
Liam's room? The front one as well as the back one? I think I'll go and lock the key. Keys are on top of the display case.
Okay.
Keys, I don't have his front room key, but it's whatever.
So there's one there, which is called Web,
Right.
and it shows them that. But I mean, it'll infinity itself. But
Oh right, no. What we want then is, yeah, that's fine. That'll infinity itself.
but we can tell them. We can just sit in the Zoom. I can just run over and just here, folks, clicking this link. Here's another way it could present.
Can we then show? Oh, so I'll tell you what. If I want to show the AHA slides thing working, I just put an AHA slide here too, and just put a VMix desktop match. Is it not into this as well? No.
No, that's I have another
Computer.
going into that.
That's fine. So. You could do it in a laptop, couldn't you?
Yeah.
But it's if I want to show them. So if I want to, oh well, I can't do it actually here, can I? I can probably, can I?
Be difficult to do both. I mean, you'd be.
Now, hold on a second. Yeah, are you on the network then? Are you going to be on the network?
Yeah. Can I just use your laptop?
Yeah. Yeah, because all the only options I have are VMix 1 and VMix 2. So if you give me your one then.
You know, open this Desktop capture.
Mm-hmm.
It's open now.
A way to not, Richard.
I'm gonna put this.
What's the danger in showing them this? I'll tell you there's danger in showing them this. We don't know how many numbers of people can watch this.
Watch.
Can attach to our website.
Crash testing, you mean, in terms of. Yeah.
Fuck it. Like
We've never tried hosting large numbers or anything like
yeah,
that.
I don't know what the numbers this would be. Anyway. So, have you got any connections?
Oh, you not seeing me? No, I don't actually. Hold on. Because I don't have any connections.
What network are you connected to?
Well, I'm using Wi-Fi at the moment. I'm on Redbox 2 gigahertz.
Okay, let's see what happens. We'll bring it in.
Show you that. Open and close. Desktop capture, I mean.
Well, you could try it. I've never tried bringing it in over the Wi-Fi before, have you? Oh, here we go.
Are you getting it?
Mm-hmm.
There's a good place to put this. Yeah, is it coming?
It's 1:45.
Well, we get them on and check that everything's cool and then send out the Zoom invites for me.
Absolutely.
If you put it into that free, just right there.
What'd you do last night?
Went home, caught up with Aaron and John, and
Where is he?
I think the leg's getting better or whatever. They were, so like the day before we had dug out gullies and stuff and levelled quite a bit and put in pipes so that the gullies will drain water into our main drain, and so we had to attach the like new plastic PVC pipes to old clay or lead pipe, whatever they are, pipes, and yesterday they found out at about 5:45 last night that see the pipe just underneath the drain at the back of the house.
Mhm.
There's a fucking hole in the bottom of it. Like someone had obviously been cleaning it, dear knows when, years ago, and they'd shoved something down it and just gone straight through it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were thinking like, why the fuck, how is that pipe so clean, you know, like coming out, and water just been going straight down for who knows how long.
Into the ground,
Yeah.
so it was always wet. So that was probably more the cause of the fucking tap on the.
Yeah, who knows, but I mean it's hooked up now to it's all
Who's
hooked
that?
up and posted, hooked up and connected now.
Oh, fantastic! Jeez, that's a result.
And there's stones on the ground now, like, you know, just very rough rubble stone stuff, and so you can walk around the back now without your feet getting completely bogging every time. And
Gee, that's fantastic.
Liam Riffer's coming today as well.
Brilliant. Do you need to split out? Oh,
No.
okay.
He's I think like people will be at home. Karen and John will be there.
Fantastic.
I think John's getting sand today.
See on your page where you hit full screen yet? Wow, it didn't do anything here. Is that full screen now? On your?
Did you select display one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on full screen.
But oh, so it's not live. But move your mouse on it then.
Moving it. No.
It doesn't matter. Oh well, it would be good. Change it here, okay? I'm gonna try. Oh, you're gone, that's why. No, you're not. We'll try Google Chrome here. Right, I've done Google Chrome, yeah, and that's live. Okay, so that's live. So go to back to the start of the quiz then. Do we see?
That is the start of it.
Okay, so move through it then, just to see what happens.
You getting a scan to anything different or?
Different. Okay.
So that just isn't the best then. That's way of doing it.
The new one. I guess instead. That thing's just sitting. Yeah, let me see now. That's much better. So if you now, how are you gonna watch this with me back here?
Is that alright?
Yeah. Mhm. Fuck, that fan makes an enormous difference, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right,
Well,
just out of interest, I want to try something here. I
Just
want to
keep
try
the
something.
three window open
I
just
want to try something. No,
in case anyone's joined.
oh yeah. Let's try this.
And I'm gonna put the always see the zoom. The microphone is not working. NDI closed on me. I don't think that laptop's having some sort of
Do you want to put on John in the video?
yeah.
No. John in the video, he's going.
The minutes of the annual general meeting of Mullingar Credit Union Limited, which was held on Wednesday, the 18th of December 2019, in the Greville Arms Hotel, Mullingar, are as follows. Chairperson Paul Isdale called the meeting to order and asked those present to recite the credit union invocation for all deceased members of the credit union. Proxies. The chairperson accepted the authorised representatives of members who are not natural persons, as were documented in the attendance register. Quorum. The chairperson ascertained that a quorum was present. Standing orders. Standing orders were adopted on the proposition of Conor Isdale, seconded by Brian Gillen. Minutes of the previous annual general meeting. The minutes of the previous annual general meeting, held on the 12th of December 2018, were read by John O'Reilly, Secretary, and these were adopted on the proposition of Ronan Duffy, seconded by Margaret Ryan. Minutes of the previous special general meeting. The minutes of the special general meeting, held on the 2nd of July 2019, relating to the transfer of engagements of Castlepollard Credit Union Limited to Mullingar Credit Union Limited.
Oh, that's a 6 box, is it? Okay, right, okay.
And I've just filled it so that
Good man, okay.
it's just the cameras and them too in it.
Cormac and Anna.
Just gonna go to the lead for Yeah, I did, yeah. Do you not want it turned into us? No?
I was just trying.
Oh, yeah.
See what it creates. I just don't know whether it'd be lovely to push airflow in from outside, or I just think just move air.
Yeah.
So turn it in, yeah. Actually, I wasn't doing anything with it. Just cooling down outside. What was that about?
What?
We'd probably have to upgrade our web package and everything to have most concurrent users on, but we'd do it. Like, I mean, what's the point in building it if we don't ever use it to get ahead?
Yeah.
Hello, there's somebody. Do you want to say that?
Sure.
Okay, so callers in. Hello, Giada.
Hello.
Ah.
Ciao, how are you?
How are you doing?
Hey.
Just to remind me, your name is pronounced Giada rather than Giada. Is that correct?
Giada.
Giada,
with
Giada.
a G.
Lovely, brilliant. Okay. So Giada, I assume Anna is going to come on a link as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
She will join. She can find the link. She just texted me. I'll resend the email to her.
Lovely.
Just 1 second. I'll do everything in here. Thanks God I had my phone close to me. 1 second.
Okay. Okay, and then we can discuss through how everybody else is going to see this, and
Yes.
we have a number of options on that, and we can talk to you through them, and you can tell us of all of the things we show you. You can tell us which is most relevant to what your colleagues need to see this morning. Okay.
Yes, of course. You see, it's mostly, by the way, I really wanted to do this because me and Dana were like the only one who saw how it is going to work. And when you explain, it's lovely to explain, but people won't really grasp what it's going to be. And
Yes.
since they are putting their money on the event, I thought
Yes.
it was only fair
Yeah.
to actually show them it.
Yeah, I agree. And if you show things to people beforehand, they can go, we don't like this, we don't like that, or we'd rather it was done some other way. And then, at least they've bought into the decision-making process. But it's very hard to show people, it's very hard to explain this to people. They just see it, and it saves a lot of conversation.
Yes, and then also you see probably the only Anna is going to be in Belfast on the day.
Okay.
But I will be remotely probably because I'm in Italy and COVID and PCR and traveling and all this kind of things is a little bit more complicated. So I think I'm gonna be remotely, but the other will be there, and we are the only one who have ever exchange and met, even if it's just virtually. So I think it's it's fair that you at least meet the people you
Yes.
will be working
There's
with
Anna,
in
I think.
person.
There we go. Brilliant. Okay.
Hey.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Okay, great. So this is good. We set this up last night because it never works if you try, and it's always very panic-inducing if you try and do it just before a meeting. So we were fairly sure we would see and hear you. And we've set up some buttons and things to show you what we can show, and then from that you can filter that and tell us, well, they don't need to see that, they need to see this or whatever. So would you like me just to give you a very I've been showing them to Giada, but a very quick reminder of the looks that we can achieve. Obviously up here with the two of you guys, we will rebrand all of this in the days coming up to the event, and we can brand it. If you give us graphics and logos, we will just place those, and we will work together to make it look exactly as you need it to look. We can have any mix, hopefully, like this. It's all very smooth and televisual, so we can have like one person on the screen, even if they need a bullet list of points to run through. There you go, you see this. So if we needed somebody and they wanted to talk about things, we can have that kind of thing, and they can talk, and I'm actually doing that here. So the person who is speaking, even Giada, if it was you remotely, and you sent us a list in advance, you could say, and now we move to agenda item 18 or part B of the thing, and I would literally just do that. So you would have nothing.
Nobody has to press buttons.
Nobody has to press buttons. You just have to speak, and we will take care of everything. And we found that that's the best way, because if a person is speaking, you're dividing their attention. You know, we want them to concentrate just on the presentation of the thing. So we've got that kind of a thing going. We've obviously got a box with up to 8 remote contributors.
Do you want me to show that those cameras are live? Will I
yes, Richard will go downstairs, and we've set up, we have our 3 cameras downstairs again. So we can have this, everybody can have, as you see, their name tags, and we can change those. Now, I know we don't need it for this, but I'll just reiterate for you. I think Jada might be the only remote person, so Richard's live on those cameras at the moment. But we can have 8 simultaneous people, that's the system, and we can, in any kind of presentation, it doesn't have to be the same 8 people, so somebody could go off and somebody else could come on. But in order to have it like this, obviously, so that's an 8 box is the maximum. We can have any number of these, so I've just set up a few so that we can switch between speakers, and we can do this for the the cameras in the room downstairs as mentioned, so we can have just any selection of the cameras. Other looks that we can do, so if we play in videos, what we do with videos is and we will have a video from our keynote speaker, is that correct?
When we decide who the keynote speaker is, yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, so there's some pre-records.
Okay, so pre-record. So like it works like this. What we do is, for safety, and just to tell you how it works, what we do is we set up a separate computer, a backup computer. We try to run as many backups and things as we can with the internet being the way it is. And so basically a video would play off a second computer, and then what that would mean is, as that video plays, we could all be discussing in a back room. You could still be talking to me, Jada, even while the video's playing and stuff. So, but a video will come on. Like, this is just a thing from a credit union, and
the minutes of the annual general meeting of Mullingar Credit Union
Exciting.
Limited, which was held on.
So videos will just play in like that, or whatever way we want. Videos can play in one of these little boxes if you wish as well. Whatever you need to do that. Any other things I want to show you?
Slides with speaker.
Oh yes. So if somebody's speaking as well, we can do this kind of thing. So the box moves up, and if you need text or whatever, let's say you're even moving into different parts of the day, and you want to just put up a title, the person who's speaking can move up into the corner, and we can have up a nice title page or whatever, and we can design on that to look very nice. This is a very like a straight-laced accountancy kind of a thing that we're showing you at the minute. And then obviously we have just single boxes for people or whatever. So that's roughly how it looks. Let me see the web thing. Okay, now we've got something else I want to show you. I forget how you're going to distribute this, and what we've set up today is a pretty typical way. I thought we could bring in everybody on the same kind of links as you guys, but sometimes there are problems with that. As in, if somebody's in a university, sometimes there's a corporate firewall, and anybody who's doing a remote link, we go on a day before, and we fix all those technical problems. I don't want there to be any technical problems this morning. Jada, you said everybody can get on Zoom. So what we're going to do is, and this might be a good test, is we're outputting this to Zoom today, us like a television show to Zoom. So, and what we can do is, whenever everybody joins Zoom, we can make like this screen the only screen they see, so they won't see themselves or anything like that. It'll just be, we have total control of what's been seen. So we can output to Zoom. Now, what we've also done today is we're also streaming to YouTube. I don't know whether you want to do that, but we can stream to YouTube as well. If you've got a browser, a spare page on your browser, I want to direct you to something now. It's if you go to a web address, which we may have to email to you, Richard, would you mind emailing that to Jada?
Sure.
And stuff? But so you can watch this on Zoom, you can watch this on YouTube, But a further development is you can also watch this on a web page on our website, okay, which we can make private, or whatever, and we only give the address out to people. And I want to show you that as well, because it might be something you're interested in, which will give you this kind of look. Okay, now the screen on the left is going to go a bit funny, but if you watch it on our website, now what's happening here, I want to explain to you what you're seeing on the screen now. On the left side of your screen, or the bit under future screens, you're seeing our little broadcast, and don't worry that the pictures, it's just infinity zooming, it's seeing itself. But on the right is a survey and a quiz application that we run in the cloud. And this allows us to run quizzes and surveys and collect information and all of those kind of things. It's fairly new, and so if you want to try this, I wonder, is this a bad idea? Because if we send them to that site, they'll hear the audio. And
yeah, I mean, if whenever Giada goes on to this webpage, she just makes sure there's no volume on the YouTube.
Yeah. Yes. So folks, Richard sent you both a link.
I just sent it to Giada.
Oh, send it to Giada. Giada, she sent it to you. Giada, will you forward it to Anna, please?
Yes.
The link.
Yes.
Just make sure on the YouTube video that the volume's turned down, okay? That on this screen, this future screens thing. Now, do you see that page that I'm on at the moment, Giada? That I'm showing you on the main screen?
Yes, no, I got the email. One second. My computer is slow this morning, of course, when you need it to work well. Anna, I'm sending it to you.
Perfect, thank you.
So I don't know what your plans are. Yes, carry on, Anna. Sorry.
Can I just ask you, there's the two videos of me.
Oh yes,
and,
right. Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, and I was just going to ask you about the pixels. Is there a difference between the two?
Right. You see the two videos of
qualities or something?
Yes. You see there's on the bottom of your screen. If you use your mouse to go down, there's a little green, I think it is rectangle. You can get rid of that selfie image of yourself completely. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Has it
but
gone
I
now?
just mean that. Yeah, it's gone now. But actually, maybe that improved the pixel of the other one. I just noticed the quality of the film was very different.
Yes. So basically, what's happening here, how this system works, Anna, is we can send you back, depending on the strength of your internet connection, we can send you a very low quality image back just for you to view. That's not the image that's going out to Zoom. So I'm going to do it here now. I'm going to put your image back down to really low. Actually, I'm putting it down really low. So you should have a terrible quality image in a second or so, Anna. Do you? Is it gone?
Hang on. Yeah.
Yeah. Now and here then. So basically, what this means is I'm going to put you back up to. I don't know how good is your internet at the moment.
Not great.
Okay, well, okay. So like in an instance of that, I can actually see your internets aren't both great. So they're kind of going from green to yellow here. I can even tell you're maintaining at sort of 29-30 frames a second, and I can tell what you're sending me. You're sending me a 480 by 270 picture. Normally what we would say, we try to get people on a webcam like a little C9 or something. Giada is actually sending me a high def webcam, but her internet connection is lower. I can see all this kind of stuff, and usually we will troubleshoot that. So Giada, if you're going to be seen on screen on the day, are you? If you're going to be seen on the actual broadcast, I would encourage you, what we try and get you to do is we'll get you to connect to us from the location that you're going to do it. And we would, if we feel that you're not, your webcam's not good enough or whatever, we would kind of encourage you to buy something. I can't show you the webcam. That there's a little webcam you can get for about £40, it's called a Logitech C920, and it will give us high def. But actually, your image from your laptop is high def anyway, so it's okay. So things like that.
I can see, by the way, everything on YouTube. I'm on YouTube at the moment. So
Yeah.
You can see us on YouTube. I wrote hello in the chat.
Yeah. So there are things like that. So are you on YouTube or are you on our webpage?
She's on our, I think, webpage.
You're on our webpage. So Anna, sorry, Giada, in front of you, do you see the screen on the left, which is the three of us, and on the right you see a thing going, welcome to my presentation. Yeah, okay. Right, so I'm just showing you this. You don't have to use this or anything. I mean, it's probably easier if everybody sees it on Zoom or YouTube or whatever. I mean, what is your intention of where people will see it?
Well, we wanted, if you remember, we spoke about having the direct on Zoom and YouTube. If
Right.
it wasn't too much trouble for you, that's what we originally planned. We were also thinking about Facebook, but then you said that it starts to be really complicated if we want to add even Facebook on. So we were happy with Zoom and YouTube.
Okay, well, what I would say to you is, to the Facebook thing, if that's desirable for you, let's do a test a few days beforehand, a dummy test, and if it works, great. We're happy. Richard, we can do that, can't we? Yeah, we can do that. I think now it's kind of, I think that there's a possibility that will work. Or we can even share the link from Facebook on, or whatever. At the time, sometimes Facebook and YouTube are rival companies, obviously, and they keep trying to thwart each other. So it depends. Sometimes they change the rules at the last moment. And we have to take account of that. So what we'll do is we'll do a test. If it's desirable to go Zoom, YouTube and Facebook, we'll look at that and set that up and run that with you in advance. And if you're happy, fine. And if not, we can drop one. We can even drop one live on air if needs be. Another thing, as I mentioned, we do is we often share a YouTube link onto Facebook saying, look, come and watch it on YouTube. Okay.
Okay, and I will just maybe let's just mention it after when we have the other participants in, so at least it looks like we include them in the decision, then we decide. But.
Yeah. Okay, so this thing that I've shown you now, Anna, have you got up that web page as well now? The same one as we give Giada?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is.
I have, but we're frozen on that one.
We're
because
not.
You have to click for you to
Click play.
I have to click play.
Anna, will you make sure that the volume is down on that YouTube video as well, just at the bottom of that little YouTube video?
This is like a real test.
Isn't it?
Hang on, I have to find. Where is the sound on it?
It'll just be
There.
the black.
There you go.
You got you're okay then. So if you hear it echoing, just turn it volume down. Okay. So now, we're going to give you a very brief demonstration of this function. Okay. Now, just to let you know, if you want people to do this, or if you're interested in this kind of thing, they will have to watch it from our webpage. So that's the link you would give to people. How many people are you expecting to watch the conference? Do you have any idea?
Hopefully 300, from 300 to 400, something like that.
Okay. Okay, then, okay. Right, well, let's show you this anyway, and we'll troubleshoot any problems with it. So Richard's going to run some, we're doing a lot of stuff at the minute with theatres and how to connect the local audience in the theatre with the remote audience watching live and make them all interact together and in some kind of meaningful way. And this is a system we've kind of come up with to do this. And so we don't like people having to think about technology too much, whatever. So we've come up with a simple way of they watch it on the right, the left, and on the right they can ask questions and things like that. So what we can do with this is you can play along. We'll just play along with you on something that we're doing here. So do you see the functionality of it? Okay, and then you can decide whether this is something you're interested in or not. So now it should say you will be asked questions throughout this play. Does it say that on the right hand side of your screen?
On YouTube or
on the little quiz thing? Not on YouTube. On the little quiz thing on the right hand side.
And if the guys could type
It
in
says,
their names.
welcome to my presentation.
Right, Richard, that hasn't moved forward for those guys. Will you move it forward
Well,
again?
can they type in their name?
Oh, will you type in your name, please? Does it say?
Hit submit.
And hit submit.
Alright, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay. you'll be asked questions through display. Questions will automatically appear on your phone throughout display.
Okay, so this is how it just works. So what we wanted was just a really simple experience for people where they can watch it on one side and they can play along on the other for a theatre thing. So you see if any of this is appropriate to you. So Richard will move it forward and... Okay, so now it gives you should have a question that you can pick from and answer from. Have you seen that on your screen? Does it now say, Richard, what does it say? Yeah, so just make a selection and hit submit, okay? Okay. So...
Anyone got that one? But
what's that, Richard?
Submission closed.
Richard will open that again for you. It's open now, you can choose now. So this is a kind of level of interactivity, okay? And then, Richard, move to the next one, please. Okay. And the next one. Anyway, you get the idea. So we'll move on through. Are there any of them you wish to show, Richard?
Let's see. This is one of the graphs. Let me see. This kind of...
That's fine, isn't it? That's the general idea. So we can do things like we can ask questions, we can take questions and things like that. But I want to say to you as well, that we can also do this on Zoom. And if Zoom's going to be your primary audience, just thinking as a speaking here, I would be more inclined to use Zoom. But there are lots of kind of survey options and all of that kind of business in Zoom, which are nice as well. So really, if your audience weren't on Zoom, that's why I was showing you that. So we've basically got all of the Zoom survey functions and all of that now. If you were watching it on YouTube, if your audience was on YouTube, but really, if your audience is all going to be on Zoom, I think I would do it within Zoom, okay? If that's going to be your primary audience, okay? That would be my thing.
I think that's the case. They will probably mostly all be.
Yeah, but there you go. We can do it. So I had forgotten kind of where your audience were going to be. That's where I was showing this. If you didn't have an audience on Zoom and you just had an audience on YouTube, we can now have all of those survey functions on YouTube as well. But they're all in Zoom. We know how the Zoom survey thing works very well. If you're going to collect any information or you want to ask any questions, and Zoom is great in that regard as well, because it just the survey just pops up on the screen, and
people are used to it by now.
Yes. So we've tried to replicate. We've replicated a thing if we're not, for a worldwide audience on YouTube. Obviously, Zoom has big implications. With the more people you want on Zoom, it ends up costing a hell of a lot of money. Like if you had a webinar with 10,000 people on it, it's kind of becomes quite expensive and stuff and all. So we can kind of do it for YouTube anyway. But actually, bearing in mind that it's Zoom, I don't think we need to look at that any further then.
The only thing it was important also that we could see that because the Young Foundation wanted actually to let's say take ownership of the surveys and everything, and maybe try to keep the audience alive during the event, maybe sending some questions during the conference through that. So since we can do that, the only thing is that I would make Tim Atwood and Sean Farren responsible for that, because I think we'll have enough on our plates, and I'm speaking in the first panel, so I won't have the time to actually care about this type of details and everything.
Well,
sorry.
Well, that's great. We can make them a co-host so that they have access to the... and we will need to liaise the week before and just check that all that functionality works. But we can make them a co-host so that they can decide. Richard, am I correct in saying that?
What do they need to decide?
So somebody else will decide when the questions go live and all of that kind of business?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we can do it, but we'll check that out. We'll check that out and we'll work out a system, even if they can't, which I think they can, but if they can't, we'll work out a system where they contact us in a back room connected on one of these connections and go, run Cormac and Richard, will you please run survey question 2? So
we'll just need to explain to Tim Atwood. Now he's on the call this morning, so we'll explain to him what he has to do, and I trust that he's going to be able to do it.
So then, of what you've seen then, I think we could show them everything, except let's not show them there's no need to show them what we've just shown you, the last thing going to our webpage and all of that. That's not required, I don't think, is it?
Okay.
I mean, because let's assume we're doing it in Zoom, because I think that's just it's confusing.
Might confuse the issue.
Yeah. So we just assume, unless they ask for it differently, we say, look, we can do it, or if they say we don't want to do it in Zoom, no, whatever. But we have you two now know that we have that kind of functionality outside of Zoom. Okay.
I'm just going to send those invites now.
Yeah. So now Richard's going to send the invites out for the meeting. It's now
it's coming up on half past.
It's 10:30. So just to give people half an hour, the meeting starts at 11. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I sent you all the email addresses.
Yep.
So
Richard's just going to send them on. So 300 is what you think you're going to have. Is there any registration process for those 300?
Yes, when I remember to start doing that too.
Right now.
Next week, I'm going to do all of that next
But
week.
that's through Zoom then, Jada.
The registration, I wanted to take them through Eventbrite and then through Zoom.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I we need to discuss that in depth. Are we doing this on your Zoom account or our Zoom account?
Your Zoom account?
Okay, right then. Okay, that's fine. That's fine to know. It's just so okay. I'll describe to you how it works. The registry. Well, you've probably done this lots of times. Have you, Zoom registration and all of that?
Yes.
There's different levels of it, and for a credit union, it depends how. Is it paid? Is it a paid event or is it a free event?
It's a free event.
That's great. Okay, so so you actually want more people to watch this. Okay, because we were doing it for a credit union, we had to work out a very complex system where we had to make sure that everybody could only connect. If you send out a link, it only goes to that person's Zoom account, and it only goes to that person's Zoom account, and so that we could make sure that people were only voting legally once and stuff and all. So we know the advanced functions of the registration system very well in Zoom. It doesn't sound like you need this, but we do need people to have a Zoom account. Everybody has a Zoom account, and because if they log in from the Zoom app, although we can we can do it from the web. If people haven't it downloaded, it's still fine. They need to sign in, but they can watch it in a web browser, or they can watch it if they've downloaded the app. But they all need to sign in separately, and we will sort that out so that they can all, be counted as different people in the survey. If you want to collect your information in the survey, and find out, like for example, we had to do it that people could vote anonymously for financial institutions, but I would imagine in your case you may want, let's say you ask a question from the floor. Okay, folks, what do you think about that idea? Do you think we should have A or B, and then everybody votes? Do you want to see your participants? Oh, like John Smith in Cork voted A, and Jane Smith in London voted B. I mean, do you want to see? Is it anonymous or do we want to see who voted and what way they voted and things like that?
No, I don't think so, but
Okay.
there won't be many questions, and by the way, nothing is going to be particularly controversial. I mean, they
That's
were
fine.
going to be mostly like generic questions.
Okay.
I'm just trying to have a clear an idea of how we're going to do this, and I'll just tell you the way I used to do it before, and so you tell me if it's any different or not. What we used to do was, for example, setting up an Eventbrite event so that people can start registering through Eventbrite, and they have a list of who is going to attend, of the numbers and their email address. The day before, 24 hours before, with maybe a reminder, I would send one Zoom link to all the attendees, and Eventbrite was very easy because it would allow me to just send one email to all the attendees that have registered without me having to write 300 emails or having to think about. No, you just click and it does everything alone. And usually then everyone receiving that link would click on that link and get in on Zoom. So there was only one link. There wasn't any need for any personal personal, say, email or something like that. It made the things very easy, and easy for me also to keep track of how many people we have and who those people are, because sometimes you have a very high profile people who sign up for this kind of event, and you do want to know, like, if you have, I don't know, and Kenny or Johnson
that is, I just need to go back and refresh myself then on the survey. If we send out one link, what we'll do in the week before is we'll trial it on Zoom and find out that if we just send out one link, that the survey function all works very well. The other way that we do it is we can take the email list and I just stick it into Zoom, and it will send each person. You just take an email list and you put it into Zoom. I don't have to do this. I can show you, and you can do it. Like, I'm not asking to see email addresses or whatever, but we will check out just the pros and cons of each way with what you want to happen in the survey, and make sure we're doing it the right way. My suspicion is the way you're talking about is going to be absolutely fine. I think that's going to be absolutely fine, but I can't. I want to double check that.
I'll share all the information that I have with you. If you want that we make a very simple test, I can.
I would like to. We'll do that at the start of that week, and honestly, we'll just run the survey and check it's working, and because it's. Yeah, that's just the best way to work. So, okay, that's fine. At the minute, we'll leave it that's the default, that's the way you're going to proceed. And if we find out that you need something extra from the survey, that we need to send everybody their own link, it's not a showstopper. You can take your email addresses and we could just stick them into Zoom, and then it automatically sends out everybody their own link, okay? So that's fine. Now, how would you like this demo to proceed? What...
The question that I have now, they are going to connect on Zoom and they are going to see this us, and then they are going to be somewhere. Now, can they interact with us? Like, if they have questions for
they can talk.
Can they ask you questions?
Yes, they can, and the way it works, and this might be interesting for the day, is the big pitfall that makes these things quite amateurish is if we lose control of the sound. The video is actually quite easy to keep control of. It's incredibly easy for us to do lots of kind of fancy stuff with video, but the sound becomes awful very quickly. And the way we do this with the Zoom audience is they are all coming on as they are all going to be in as, so if there are 300 people in, and so let's treat these people today as the audience, their sound will automatically be off. They raise their hand in the chat, or they type a question, or say I'd like to speak, and then we unmute that person for the duration of that, and it makes it very orderly, very professional and very clean, but we can't leave their mics open because it's just hell, and it creates a really messy thing. So if that's good with you, is that Anna and Giada, is that okay to proceed with that system today?
Yes.
And so
yes.
Okay.
I only wanted then at the beginning, I'm just going to introduce you since they have never met you.
Sure.
So just quickly, maybe you can say a few words, and then there is only one other person. I've recruited some extra help from a PhD student. I just want him to say a few words on who he is for all the other members to also meet him. And since it's going to be like I felt we needed some extra help to manage all of this, so I'm just going to ask him to say who he is and everything, because other people wouldn't have met him, and then we can just proceed. You can show like the options that we have on this system, that we can customize the look of it, showing like you did to us the various options. And the only other thing I wanted also to do, you remember we picked the studio in your building in which
Yes.
the two panels are going to take place, and I wanted them to see that.
Okay. Yeah. So what we'll do then is I can bring up. You tell me if what you're seeing now is what you want them to see. So there's the room. That's the room. But we can bring up. I need to bring those in somewhere. Just so we can make each one of those, like, we can bring up the room like that. if that's okay. So you just let us know what view you want to see. So we have various views on that, as I say. Oh, do I not have that one in as a link?
And how many were we able to put in that room again?
I think you could have. I mean, I think we put out 5 chairs, did we not, Anna? The time that we showed you. Yeah, there's 5 chairs. But you know, you can. Yeah, you could. I mean, if we're showing them in boxes like this, you know, we could put in more if you wish. You know, it could, because it keeps it all very neat. It means that if we do it in this box system, it means that you see everybody face on, and then we can do a full view of the room, so that you're not one person's. If you only use one camera, then one person's away in the corner, and you're not seeing those people or whatever. So I think we had 5 chairs out last time. I think that's what you mentioned. You just let us know, and we'll work out any problems with it. Can I ask you? Yeah, can I ask you about your PhD student? Do you want us to send him a link, like you now, like the way we've done for yourself and Anna?
For this morning is fine as it is for him to come on Zoom and everything. The only thing, yes, next then after that.
Giada, I just want to say to you one other limitation of the Zoom. Is that we won't see the audience today. We won't see them. Okay, so but we could see your guy if.
Can I talk to you about this, Cormac?
Yes. Can we just give me 2 seconds? Just I want to talk this through with Richard here. Okay, Richard.
It's just that I think the folks that we're sending the links out to today are joining as participants. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, all the guys on the Zoom, they'll be able to. They can, if you want.
We can bring them up, yeah. Oh, we can bring them up, okay, today. And so let me see. Where's my Zoom one there? Do we have a Zoom?
You maybe
back
don't.
Just give me 2 seconds. I think we will be actually able to see everybody and stuff. Just give me 2 seconds.
Looking for
like you have the 2
Resolum.
seconds. Does anyone is bothered if I go to the toilet?
No, that's fine. That's fine. We need to just work out something here now, just on what we've said here.
So it'll be that.
Oh,
one.
that's perfect. Can I also go?
Yes. Okay. Brilliant. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Great. So Resolum. So
actually,
yes.
Actually, Cormac, can I just ask you? Are you tapping into all the background noise with me, or is this okay? Because I have like screaming children in the background.
I know it's like it was fine, just except for one little bit there, just towards the end, where they were all. You could hear them a lot. You know, it's hard.
Yeah.
I noticed like. You have to.
Okay. No, just so I know, but then I can mute myself, right?
Oh yeah, just mute yourself whenever you wish. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Those headphones you have would have been better, I guess, but I don't have them.
Yes. Yeah. Any headphones are great with this because it means that it cuts down echo all around. So Giada, very definitely, Giada, for your anybody who's coming in remotely, we want everybody on headphones. If so, on the day, Anna, if we maybe get you on headphones, it's even. But we'll check all that out, okay? And they can be little in-ear headphones, you know, like phone headphones or whatever, you know. It can be good, you know.
Well, I mean, on the day I'll be there. I guess.
Yes, you will.
But just for this meeting, I just mean now. If it gets really bad, I'll just mute.
It's fine. This is absolutely fine. Okay, so we're just going to work out now. If you're going to nip to Luana, we're just going to work through making sure that we can let you see the audience on Zoom. That's what we're going to try. The last thing we have to set up this morning here, so I have to set up just a shortcut for that, and let me just see if this key is in here, and it's not. So and we want 25. Okay, so we will be able to see them. I'm just going to label that here. Great. Okay, so we should be able to see them. And Richard, you
I will manage this. Like how.
Yeah, brilliant. Richard will manage the audio and that as best we can. Okay, that's great then. So I think that if I put that in there, I'll be able to see it as well. Lovely. So I think we've got that now. So Anna, you should, or Giada, you should see now on the screen the Zoom call. Can you? Yeah. Okay. Great. So hopefully you will see and hear our participants. We will try and manage their audio today, but honestly, we do really manage it professionally in the event, even if there's some blips today.
I'm not worried. So thank you so much.
Yeah. So okay. So for the demo then, so if it shall start with, let me just see if I can...
and also I forgot, you see that you showed us that short video, how it's going to look. If you can do that also with them, so they can see also how it's going to look with the pre-recorded video.
Okay, I'll just run through all those views of things and the video, and as I mentioned, the only thing we're not going to mention from what I've shown you is the quiz stuff, because that already exists and it's not needed. So if we're starting this demo, then I think we should just start it. Well, the first thing they should see, Giada, is probably like you, like that. If that's fine. And then we'll move to you can maybe say I'm here with my colleague Anna today, and we'll move to that, and then you go, and we've invited the crew from Redbox, and that gives them the idea, and and then hopefully at that point I'll go something like this, and then if you hand over to me, and I won't speak until you hand over to me, and then if you say to me something like, "Come, can you show us some of the looks and the functionality of it?" At that point, I will do this kind of thing for a little bit, showing them very simply that stuff, and like say, the fact that we can have audio, this kind of stuff, the video, the fact that presenter can be up there. Is there anything else, Richard? Not that one. We're not going to show that one. And just the 6 and 8 box, and then I will just come straight at the end of that, which will only take a minute. I'll just come back to this thing here. Is that fine? And then, do you want your PhD student to talk, or would?
I'm just gonna ask him to 1 second to introduce himself, because I'm the only one who met him. So
okay.
This is gonna be an help, even in terms of organization and everything, and then I'm going to ask if they have any kind of questions, if they have any other requirements that we haven't thought about, but I don't think so. I mean, the whole organization was pretty much in our hands, me and Hannah,
okay.
So they were very fine with everything we decided, so it's absolutely good like this. Sometimes it's just the people from the Hume Foundation, they have a little bit more needs to be explained and guided through. It's probably an age thing.
Yeah, that's grand. I mean, and people are very, very nervous about, I mean, it's still, there's a lot of this is still very new for people, all of this stuff,
The only thing that I also would like you to say, if it is possible, it's, for example, you spoke about having like a general rehearsal before the event.
Absolutely.
So, for example, if you could tell what it is required, for example, during the week before, when people should be in Belfast, even like, do they need to be on screen? Do they need to be wearing anything not too colorful, because
yes.
It's going to disturb the screen? All these kind of details that we might be not aware of.
Yeah.
And if there is also any kind of, I don't know, do you need PCR test for people to get into the studio and be all together, or the 2 jabs and the green pass is enough? I don't know, this kind of...
Yeah, well, we run it, just to let you know, in the studio we have a sanitizing spray gun, so we will sanitize the room downstairs. We've had a complete health and safety test. We're allowed, I don't know how, but we are allowed 18 people in that room, so 5 or 6 isn't going to be any problem. We send out people a form just beforehand on the web, and it says it takes 1 minute to fill in, have you been in contact with anybody, blah blah blah, all of that kind of business recently, or whatever, have you had COVID, or are you showing any symptoms, that kind of thing. It takes 1 second. When they arrive, we ask them to sign in, and we take their temperature like everywhere else, and that's it.
Okay.
But we're good, and the room will be sanitized, and really there won't really be, Anna will be up with this here, Anna. So you'll be probably sitting where I am, Anna, and myself and Richard will be sitting up at the front. So you'll be like 10 feet away from us, more, 15 feet away from us. That'll be fine, and there really won't be any need for.
And Darren would be there then as well, Jada, wouldn't he?
Yes.
So but we might have a floor manager in the room. There probably might be 4 people in this. We need people watching the Zoom, our own staff to watch the Zoom and things. We might need a floor manager downstairs who we can talk to in the room separate from your guests if there's a problem or somebody's chair is the wrong way and we can't, or some technical problem crops up. So there'll be things like that. So, but there won't be, we're not going to have 30 staff or anything like that. It's a small team of professionals, and I don't foresee any problems with it. The cameras are all remote as well for that purpose, so we can move any of the cameras downstairs from up here.
It's just to understand that maybe a couple of days before or the day before, as you are more comfortable, you can ask them to actually be there. And then most of the speakers already live in Belfast, so it's not going to be a big problem for them to just come where you are and just to make the trial. Even how they are going to be seated in the room with their moderator, and they're trying the sounds, and I'm going to be watching remotely, so at least we can also try that part.
Absolutely, because that is actually quite tricky for you to hear them and them to hear you in the room. It really does have to be done and worked out. It's actually easy enough here with Anna remotely, but it's a completely different scenario, and we also need them to see you and all that kind of stuff. So if it's good with you, I'd like a full dress rehearsal the day before. We don't have to do the discussions and all that, obviously, but it's just here's how we're going to here's going to be the introduction. It's as simple as what I said to you there now. It's going to start with Jada, and then Jada's going to introduce Anna. That's interesting. So why is that one on that?
Because that's Cormac and Anna.
Yes. So Jada, Anna. Okay.
Jada and Anna.
That one, okay, right. So I need to do that, and then and we walk through each bit, and we just see technically, is it working? Because they will have things going, I can't hear that, or where do I look? Where do I look to see that person? And also we'll have to have work out the communications between Anna and the floor. For example, we might find in that rehearsal that the presenter really needs to hear Anna rather than me, so we might need to have a microphone back here where Anna just goes, look, that's going on too long, can we move forward, that kind of thing. Or it might be that it's Giada who does that, and we might need the presenters to have in ears or see the information on the screen. So there's a lot of little things and to be worked out. So a full dress would be good. On the day of the event, will you please remind me what time we're going out live at?
10 a.m. if I'm not wrong, and it should all be over by 5 p.m.
Okay, right. So 10 a.m.
Wrong. I need to get all the paperwork done now.
Okay, so there will be. So really, at the start of that week, we'll need to with you guys. We need to work out a full schedule as well. So there'll be a bit of people management in that. Will there? So there's you have. I just need to remind myself of what's going to be the running order on the day of the event.
Welcome address from IAS's president, 10 minutes, no more. The video of the practitioner speaking, and we also have to set up the details about that, because now this week I need to send them the email how they are going to have to video themselves, but we'll speak with you on the side. Maybe we can email, you can just explain to me what I have to tell them, so then they can send me the material that I can forward to you. Then, so this 10 minutes video or whatever it is, then the first panel, the Q&A, the first panel will be about 1 hour and a half, including the Q&A. Lunch break, second short video, second panel, 1 hour and a half plus Q&A, keynote, conclusion, goodbye.
Okay, so then we really do need so we need a breakout room for when the second panel arrive and things like that. So we need
floor manager.
We need Donna,
yeah.
And for that, and we so we'll have a kind of a production, a floor manager who will just make sure that people aren't thundering in the front of the building and all of that kind of business, and we have a place for them to stay that's safe as well, to sit and relax, and where they can watch what's going on. We'll make it that they can watch what's going on live as well, and see all of that. Okay.
Can I just ask a question, guys,
yeah.
before this meeting starts here? Whenever the Zoom meeting starts, would you like to be able to hear everybody, Giada, straight away? Do you want everybody's mics to be on, or?
Anna, you decide.
Oh, I think you're maybe muted.
We can't hear you, Anna. Anna, you're
you
muted.
may be muted, or?
I'm muted.
There we go.
Sorry,
Yep.
that was the fault of the kids. Well, when it's happening live, we are mute. When we are, like, the participants are mute, right?
Yes, well, I think let's have them. I think should we have them mute, and maybe Giada, if you said, look, folks, if you're all no, do we need to actually confirm that people are on the meeting?
Maybe for sake of clarity, we should talk to people and just let them know what's going on. If they know that they can hear us and stuff, what do you think?
Yeah, we need to know, I suppose, and so we're not wasting our breath, that they can hear us. So,
yeah.
Giada, if we just have you full screen for that, and Giada, if you talk to people and go
welcome them in,
and just check with them, we'll leave you full screen. And you just check that people can hear you, and we will manage that in the background as best we can.
Maybe a good idea, Cormac, can we just send Giada the return feed from Zoom so she can actually see what's happening on Zoom the whole time, no matter what we do here? Is that a good idea?
Okay. Is that
a...
So...
I don't know, is that maybe...
Okay, no...
How does that work?
So we can choose to send... Like, for example, we can send. You don't have to see the broadcast, what's going out on Zoom. We could set it that you just are seeing Zoom, or that you always see us, or you always see the studio downstairs. We can choose per person what you see. It's really, really good system. So Richard's asking the question here: should Giada?
So if we set output 2 to be Zoom,
but what's the benefit of that?
So that Giada can see each person as they come on, irrespective of what we do here on vMix.
Giada, do you need to see all the participants on vMix all the time, or on Zoom all the time?
Just for today, or
just for today? No.
I mean, for today is fine. Yes.
Like,
it's fine if it is not overcomplicating things too much. If not, like the view that I had before was fine too.
Okay. Well, we'll try it here. Let me just see what output 2 is. So output 2 is.
We make that
63.
I think it's 25. That's the wrong computer. It's 25.
25. So Giada, what you should be seeing now. Giada, will you tell me what you see? There you go. You can have that all the time.
So you'll see us again when the meeting starts, and then you'll see each person as they come in. You can see who's in the meeting. You'll maybe just have a bit more control of what's going on.
Yeah.
And
so you won't see like, for example, I'm changing it about now, but you're not seeing that. You're still just seeing Zoom. Anna's seeing a change. So Anna's seeing it changing about, but you're just seeing Zoom.
But when the meeting starts, Giada will see it.
Yeah, Giada will see. Actually, let's give Anna that view as well. We'll give you that view as well.
Yeah.
I think this will work better. Okay, so Anna, we're giving you the same view. So now you're just seeing Zoom.
Yep.
But when the meeting starts,
you will see.
Yeah.
You will see the other people, and you will see.
Yeah, and you'll see the other people. Yeah, okay. And if that's not working, just say to us, go back to the view we had earlier, okay? And we'll make that work. Okay. All right then.
So will we leave it now just full screen with Giada until the meeting starts?
Yes,
so that
absolutely.
We're ready for that.
But will we use the Zoom link that you sent?
No, you just stay where you are. We can show you Zoom. You don't like that's the beauty of this. We can show you. We can show you anything. You know, like whatever you don't.
Okay, great. And like, did you want to mute them or not mute them?
Well, as Jada speaks to them, Jada, maybe you just confirm that they can hear you and that they can see you, and will you?
Well, maybe just say if it's all right for this portion.
We will mute you and we will take your questions after we show you stuff. Is that okay? So just make sure they're on.
They can ask a question through the microphone and not on the chat. Like I tell that they can ask their question. Like
Well, yeah, we'll mute. No, they can't. So we'll mute them. We don't want them to speak freely just at the moment, but we will a bit later on.
At the end.
Yeah, but confirm that they can hear you and see you. Okay, that's what we're saying just at the start. And then whenever you're happy that everybody is on and is happy that they're in Zoom and hearing and seeing, say start the meeting and say Jada, and then we go to, as we mentioned, to this view and then this view and then this view, and then I'll do I'll be as brief as I can, and then we'll just come back to that, and then maybe you go to your PhD student at that point, if that's good. Okay, lovely. Okay, then good. Then I've one more shortcut to set up then, which I'll just do now, which is and then we can.
You're just gonna make that.
Yeah, it's 10:54 now. I suppose we should nearly go live on the meeting, should we?
Just in case of that time limit thing, Cormac.
Oh yeah, no,
we'll
go
like
live just at the time. Okay. Where is that?
So I'm gonna get a headphone extender, Cormac, and I'm gonna sit up there with.
Yes, please do, Richard. Yeah. This input 40.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
That's Jada now. Instead
I just see the headphone connections here. That's alright.
I can't. Did you put yourself on mute, Jada?
No, I was just speaking. Not loud. Incredible. This is so exciting. I'm just realizing how much work there is.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. It's good that
so we have more
well,
help.
I also thought about, let's say, hiring Darren, because at least he can give you an end of the day, maybe just welcoming people, direct to them. And everything. If not, it's going to be crazy for you. So at least if it's 2 people, I would be there, but COVID restrictions.
No, I think it's really good. It's a good idea.
So at the minute, Cormac,
and
that's on screen, so do we just want to have Jada on screen just in case?
Yeah. So I can still see us all on the YouTube, but not on the other one.
Yeah, you can see what. That's fine. You know.
So once the meeting gets going, I'll be back to the other one, is it?
No, you will see it. Yeah, you'll see it. When the meeting starts, you will see what the audience are seeing on Zoom. Okay? So you're going to be seeing what our participants are going to be seeing today. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
So you can close down that YouTube one if you want. You don't need to have that open now. But if you can say we're streaming on YouTube if you need to.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's just a good, yeah, I think so. And it's a good option for people who for some reason doesn't want to use I mean for the day.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, probably a good thing to do is that we have another meeting, Anna, with Darren, and we split up the work.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Don't feel overwhelmed now. We'll be okay.
Which generally means I tell you, so you do that, you do that.
Yeah, which means just give me orders. Just tell me what to do.
So, Richard, I think, is going to start the meeting here. Are you? Has it started, Richard? Or? Oh, it starts. The meeting starts in 2 minutes, and then obviously it'll take 5 or 10 minutes before people get on and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
And by the way, we think that we haven't used Zoom in a while. We've been actually filming dramas in theatres, but we think we're on the pro account, so that's the reason we're only starting the meeting now. We looked and we think we're in the pro account, but we're not sure. So if the meeting goes off, we'll send out a link straight away to all our participants again after. Okay, and Richard, the other computer just crashed, so we don't have that other computer now anyway. That's all right. Will you switch it off there then?
By the way, also what I wanted to say, they're all super nice people, super thrilled about this event and the
Lovely.
way it's going to be. So it's not like they are there to just to point out of all they don't like and everything.
Oh no, it's fine. But we don't mind anyway, because it's much better if somebody says what they want, rather than saying after the event, oh, we wish we could have had it this way or that way, So the meeting will start in, we'll let you know when it started. And there may just be a little bit of filtering in Zoom to make sure that what they see is the full screen. That'll take us a minute or two if to sort. There's a reason for that, in that it only allows us to take control of the screen whenever there are a number of participants on. We can't do it with just one participant. You have to, I don't know why they do it like that, but you have to have more than one participant on so we can control what everybody sees on the screen.
So I just want to wait a few seconds to see if Zoom starts it automatically, or whether I need to actually just click start. Okay, I think I'm just going to click start.
Click start, Richard, and see what happens. Join. Okay, so yeah, Jada on Zoom is so you're on Zoom, but we will tell you when participants join. Obviously, Richard will let us know when participants come on. Okay.
See Tim Atwood. I see Tim Atwood.
Tim Atwood.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
admit Tim, and you can talk to Tim. I must. What I must do now is I'm just going to turn. Jada, I'm going to make it that you can hear my mic, but they can't. Okay.
Okay. Ciao team, ciao Sean.
Morning.
Just dump it, Richard. Just get rid of that call.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great that you can hear me. We are just waiting for the other participants to join
Okay.
the call, and then we're gonna give you a full tour of all the instruments and potentials that
Okay.
have been here.
Okay. You're keeping well?
Yes, really good. I'm just so great to
Hi, Malcolm.
to actually see this live and everything.
Hello, Malcolm. Malcolm, I'm in the middle of a demo. I'm just live on
So just to let you know, we are not connected on Zoom ourselves, so we will be.
That's
You
Malcolm.
will see the whole potentials of the other system, but also what the audience of the conference will see, because they are going to be connected on Zoom.
Okay, good. Good. Did you manage to see any of our conference 2 weeks ago?
Yes,
was from-
it was
from-
great actually. It was
You
great.
enjoyed it?
Now, yeah, a lot, and it's great that we can still see the YouTube
Sessions.
videos online. Just 1 second. Cormac, I have one colleague who told me that is still linkless. and it's-
Who is it?
Okay, a colleague who doesn't have a link. We'll just
yeah,
find out who that
Jonathan
is.
Evershed.
Jonathan Evershed doesn't have a link. Richard.
Yeah. I'm sending you his email address.
Okay, Richard. We've been sent his email address here. I'll just see, Richard, if it comes up for me.
Let me do another.
So Jada sent it to me. So is it?
Yeah, I sent it.
Okay, I'm just checking here. So, Richard, so I've got the email here, Richard. Do you want me to just shout it out to you?
2 seconds.
Oh, Richard, it's on the computer now. It's on my email if you want to just... So, Jada, I think that your participants can't hear me now, so just to let you know, I think that people on Zoom... so this is our back room, so it's great. So I will be able to talk to you throughout the thing, and if any of our participants can hear me, just let me know. So there you go.
Yes, okay.
Someone has asked if they have to sign up to Zoom to join the meeting.
Somebody has asked if they have to sign up to Zoom to join the meeting. I don't think so, do they?
I think they do.
No,
so.
you can just open in the browser.
I think they do.
Oh, you can not just open it in the browser, Richard?
Maybe they can.
Maybe they can. They'll have to try. If not, they'll have to sign up. Who asked, Richard?
Mary Murphy.
Mary Murphy asked that.
Oh.
How strange.
Cormac, can people hear me?
Is Tim joining us?
Anna, yes, but I can
Yes.
take you off for the moment if you wish.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry?
And I could take you off if you wish for the moment no, people can't hear you in the meeting, Anna. No, they can only hear Gad at the moment, but we will make them hear you. Okay. Do you want to be heard now?
Just for those who are already connected,
No.
if you can hear me speaking alone, I'm not speaking alone, is that I can hear the people from the studio, but you can't. So I was just giving instruction. So that's why I'm not talking alone. I've not gone nuts from one day to another. And Cormac, we have Tim Atwood in the waiting room, probably had some connection issues, and Mary is here too.
Richard, will you let in the people that are in the waiting room?
No, there's
We're-
Tim.
We're
Hi,
letting
Tim.
them in now, okay?
Hello.
Yes,
Mary.
that's good. And then we just need Jonathan.
I just sent the email to Jonathan.
The email has been sent to Jonathan, Jada.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay, so it's going to probably join in 1 second. Do you think that they can start to just explain what is going to happen?
Yes, whatever, yeah, absolutely. Or maybe you should wait for everybody, should you? So you only have to do it once?
Wait just hey guys, I'll wait just 1 second for Jonathan, and then I'm going to explain you what is going to happen and how we're going to do this.
Okay.
I could sing a song to entertain everyone, but I have no singing talent.
Are you in Italy, Gianna?
Yes. I came to celebrate Italian azzurri. No, mostly it's because, summer is a little bit prettier generally, even if this year it's not true. But spent the last month with family before being back to Cardiff in mid-August. But I was I was in Germany, and then I was back to Cardiff for quarantining, basically. To check that it was okay in Cardiff too.
Well, we probably think we go ahead.
And then I was just waiting for Jonathan. He did email me, and we emailed him the link again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had to sign up to Zoom to get in. So that took a while.
Yeah, that was the case for me as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that's strange.
Yeah,
Well,
you couldn't
we
get
may,
in.
We can tell them that
We'll solve this. It's good that we tried, by the way, this demo in Annie, so we'll see everything also that it's not working, but not practical, and we'll try to solve all the issues. Make this as easy as possible. Jonathan is there.
So is that our last person, Jada, in now?
Yes, Cormac is the last person. Ciao, Jonathan.
Hi everyone.
Hello, Jonathan. How are you?
Yeah, very fine, thank you. Sweltering.
do you want to start the view so that it's only...
Cormac, so I'm just going to start.
That's great. Okay, no problem.
Everything. Okay, now, welcome everyone to this demo of what is going to happen on our conference in September. So just so you know, me, Anna, and the Redbox team are not connected to Zoom, so you are seeing actually what the participants of the conference are going to see, so that you can actually have a full view of all the potential we have in here. And the only thing that we are going to ask is that we are going to mute you for the very beginning of this demonstration, so that all the sound checks and issues are going to be managed by our team of Cormac and Richard. And so, and then you will have the chance to ask all the type of questions and all the things that you would also like to see over the conference, maybe the use, for example, of surveys or questions and everything. We are also live streaming on YouTube at the moment. So like I can send you the link if you want to also see how it's going to look on YouTube. Now, Cormac, you can show Anna. Anna is here with me on the same system I am. And we are also here with the Redbox team, Cormac and Richard.
Hello.
That I also want
Hey guys.
That I also want to really introduce them to you, because they have been incredibly helpful. Even this morning, like we've been here for 1 hour just trying everything and making sure that everything is going to be perfect on the day. So Cormac, if you want to start and show us all the system and all the options that we have and something that we've already choose, it's going to be great, and then we'll leave the speakers and the participants times for questions. And
Okay, so thanks, Jada. So hopefully on Zoom now, you're just seeing me in a box, and I just demonstrate the layout of the screen to you. This was, we're just using a previous thing that we did to demonstrate to you the functionality of what we'll be able to do for you. Up above here, there's the branding. You can see it was from Mullingar Credit Union, and we have a little spinning logo in the side. All of this is completely brandable to your event, and you can see down below I have a name tag. We'll have name tags for every speaker, either whether they be local or remote. So we use this system for television broadcasts, for UTV and TG Car and BBC Alba and all kinds of things. So the whole idea of this is that we're bringing kind of broadcast kind of quality, kind of you know, production values to an online a meeting or webinar. Okay, so things that we can do. If you see on this side over here, as someone speaks, whether they be down in our studio or remotely, we can, if they have headings for their speech, or if there's something that we need the audience to see, we can key through that here. We never ask anything technical of our speakers. We do it all here. So somebody just has to speak, they send us their titles in advance, and if they say, okay, can we move to agenda item 8 please, we move it to here. So that kind of thing. As you saw, I was able to, if there are a number of speakers speaking, we can really highlight that speaker. Here is a system where we have 8 boxes on the screen. So imagine a scenario where there are 8 people who are speaking. So we can see Jada and Anna. The other views you're seeing are of our studio downstairs, and I'll show you more of that. No, that's fine, Richard. Say there. That's actually live. Those are 3 live cameras of our studio room downstairs, and I'll just actually show you those views. Like here we go. So this is one of those views. So that's a studio, and we're hoping to have our 5 guests or panelists down in this, and we can show again that studio in lots of different ways. We've up to kind of 8 cameras down there, so we can lay it out whatever way we need to. Other things we can do, are, as you saw, if there are only 3 people on the screen, we can do that. And if suddenly we just want to concentrate on myself and Jada, it's all very seamless. It's all done from here, and again, our speakers will be unaware of this. A lot of this we'll be doing. Imagine. So I know that you have videos that you want to show. So a video will be played in just like so, and this is the very exciting minutes of an AGM, a financial AGM.
The minutes of the annual general meeting of Mullingar Credit Union Limited, which was held on Wednesday, the 18th of December 2019, in the Greville Arms Hotel, Mullingar.
There you go. That's quite enough of that. So anyway, there you go. That's the thing. Now let's imagine we have a speaker at our meeting who wants to show something visually to our audience on Zoom, but we still want to see that speaker. Well, what I can do is this, something like this. Suddenly I move up into this corner here, and we now see that we can have titles if you want to section the meeting or anything like that. So that's that, and again, the last thing I just show you, it all very seamlessly moves between 2 boxes, 6 boxes, 8 boxes, all of that kind of business. We can have any kind of titles running as well along the bottom. We can have tickers. Anything you see on a television broadcast is available to you in this meeting. So that's the idea. It gets spat out on Zoom and YouTube, I think, simultaneously, but I think Jada's going to talk more about that in a moment. So Jada, is there anything else you'd like me to explain about the system to our guests?
Yes, just that our panels, so the 2 panels, and we'll see about the keynote speaker, but they are going to take place so live in the studio. We were just talking before about health and safety and COVID and stuff, so everything has been health and safely checked already with Cormac. They had the authorization to have 18 people, you said?
Yeah.
Cormac,
yeah, we regularly do broadcasts here all the time for different live streams for different broadcasters, and we have a full health and safety plan in place, and people get sent a form before they come, asking them the usual kind of stuff. Have you been in contact? Are you showing any symptoms? All of that kind of business. We sanitize the rooms downstairs. We sanitize any room, waiting room, whatever. It's completely sanitized before people come in, and we can conduct the traffic flow. And so we're fairly sure that we are as safe and within regulations as we are required to be. And of course, we don't want anybody getting ill whenever they're with us. Okay, so
this is just to say that if nothing is going to happen in the next month, the 2 panels are definitely going to happen live and broadcasted live on the day of the conference, except for me, that I'm going to be remotely, so my panel will look like, as you saw before, with the people in the room and my little face here around, and we will work with Cormac as best as we can in order to make also my sound, to make sure that the people in the room can hear me, that I can hear them, that the moderator is able also to engage with me as best as she or he can, and we'll have all the backup in terms of system that it is possible to have in order to not have anything let's say wrong happening during the day. And the only thing that I would like to say, especially for you that are going to be in the room, is that there will be full rehearsal required, probably the day or 2 days before the conference, so during the week before the conference we'll try to test all the systems and everything, so just maybe make some possible plans to be in Belfast if you need to travel a few days before for a full dress rehearsal.
Yes, Jad has mentioned about the dress rehearsal there. Really, we do these online all the time, and the max we've done them to is we've done one to about 30,000 people, and the only time we find things go wrong are whenever we're seeing it for the first time on screen. So a dress rehearsal technically for us with people the day before is really key to making sure things always go wrong. It's the internet and it's computing and all of the rest, so things go wrong. We've lots of backup systems, but we don't like finding that out on air. Obviously it just doesn't look professional. Mostly things that go wrong are audio related. Is actually audio is a very difficult part of this to get right, and especially if we have guests. So Jada is going to be one of our producers remotely. Anna, I believe, is going to be here, sort of sitting where I am. There's a whole suite of sort of recording studio and television broadcast studio up ahead, but actually making that work audio so that the panelists can hear Jada or hear a video online or any other remote guests. I know that is quite tricky, and so it would benefit everybody for a full dress the day beforehand. It also lets everybody get very comfortable with how it is, and sometimes we do need to speak to people on the floor. We have 3 remote cameras downstairs. Again, this is all COVID safe regulatory stuff. So really, in the room, it will only be our panelists and our presenter. So we need to get messages to those people. Sometimes people like in-ear monitors, sometimes they don't. So we decide. Somebody comes along and in the rehearsal they go, I don't like that in my ear, it's distracting me while I'm speaking. So we go, that's fine, we'll put up a screen in front of you and anything we want to say to you will be on that screen. And we don't know that, and obviously we can't do anything about that if we go live and we haven't seen it before. So if you please would make yourselves, anybody who's on, please make yourself available, and we'll keep it as brief as we can the day before, but we just need to know, how does the show start? How do we get out of the intro into the first item? How are we getting out of that? And can we tell the next person who's speaking, we're coming to you in 30 seconds. Okay, the video's ending now. You're on in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that kind of is how do we get out of that item into the next item and stuff like that. It's always it's just how television operates. So, and those are the kind of production values we'd like to bring to it. Is that fine, Jada? Is that enough info?
Yes. Absolutely, and also the rehearsal day, I think it's going to be really useful in terms of also for us, the speakers, for example, to meet the moderators, to meet with each other, and also like just to familiarize even with the studio. So I know there will, and I'm coming to that just afterwards, I will have the help of Darren and Hannah that are going to direct the speakers from one room to another and everything, and there will be a floor manager also in the studio, but it's just also to arrive on the day and just be comfortable and focusing on saying smart things instead of saying, focusing on where do I have to do, where do I have to go and everything. Now, I know also that we had spoken with the team and Sean about maybe also using the chat functions in order to send questions maybe during the event in order to keep the audience let's say alive, and we are going to speak about this too, in terms of yes, there all the process of registrations and having a list of attendees, sending the links and everything, I'm going to manage and to do it with Darren and with Anna and with the help of Cormac, so you don't have to worry about everything. I'm just going to keep everyone updated in terms of how many registrations we have, how many people are going to attend, who is going to attend and everything, just to keep this kind of information among ourselves. Cormac, if now it is the time, I would just 1 second leave the floor to my speakers. Especially, I want Darren to introduce himself, and I found him in the past 2 weeks to be an incredible help for me in terms of also getting the list of speakers settled and everything, and I really wanted him to be involved and for his work completely volunteered at the beginning to be recognized. So Darren, I would really love that you could introduce yourself to the other organizers and just say a little bit about who you are.
Okay, so Jada, but just before we hand over to Darren, so we take control of where productions fall down is the audio gets really messy and people talk over each other. So of course, in general, we mute our Zoom audience, and what we're going to try to do now is we're going to try and just unmute only Darren and make him full screen. Is that right? So that everybody sees
Yes.
Darren full screen. Okay, so Richard, you let me know if that has happened, and do I need to cut to anything here, Richard, or is that fine?
Is that okay? Just a side by side view there.
Right, okay.
Side by side if you want.
Okay, so can we hear Darren?
Thank you, Giada, first of all, for the opportunity to get involved with this very talented group of people. I'm very familiar with the different individuals involved. In fact, Dr. Murphy was somebody who inspired the current PhD project that I'm working on through her work in this area. But I've just completed the second year of my PhD at Queen's. I'm looking at different modes of European influence on the development of UK and Irish intergovernmental cooperation. And so the main methodology of that is to speak to the people that were involved on the UK, Irish and EU sides, whether it be ministers, officials, special advisors and so on. And so that's really what I can bring to this conference. I have the contacts, and they're all incredibly amenable people with excellent insights, and I'm more than happy to contribute to this conference. Indeed, most of them are aware of the work of this particular association, so it's been really quite straightforward to get them involved, and I really think they're going to bring a lot of value to things.
Thank you so much. And also, I just wanted to quickly say hello to my PI that you have never met, Dr. Sinead Pierce. And we are going to contribute with our own project from Cardiff University, giving a special focus on young people in Northern Ireland, the young people and peace building, and also with a straight connection to unemployment. And I really wanted Sinead to be here today because she's 8 months pregnant, so she's not going to be able to attend the conference in September. But I really just wanted to, for her to see what I've been doing in the past few months, and also to briefly meet all of you. She's going to probably watch us on video a few months after the conference. But so thanks, Sinead, for being here today too.
Pleasure. Really pleased to be here. Though a bit hot.
And okay, so Cormac, if it is okay with you now, we can just go and take questions if anyone has any particular questions to ask, and or any comments or any what you can say, any ideas of how we can also bring 74 live.
Perhaps if somebody wants to speak, could they maybe just write in the chat, or if you just raise your hand if you'd like to speak, we'll unmute you. Or has Richard have you muted everybody, Richard?
Tim has raised his hand.
Tim has raised his hand. So Tim, over to you.
Yeah, no, I'll come back to the detail of the conference. Just technically, obviously, Cormac, that's helpful. And obviously, the Hume Foundation have done a number, all our events have been virtual. And we had a conference with EUI in Florence at the start of July. So, the presentation can really enhance the conference, and you have all the facilities. Do you have a video wall as part of your setup?
We can have a large TV with with whatever you want on it, or something like that if you need to show information.
No, yeah. I'm just thinking in terms of, obviously, when you go to the conference or at the panel discussions, do you envisage that I saw the tables there, do you envisage that you'll have shots of the panel together? Because obviously you're trying to make it look as much like a physical conference as possible. So to get that in direct, because yourself, when people are speaking, you can see their body language and things like that. Do you envisage that as possible, some of the shots?
Yeah, so perhaps what we discussed with Giada and Anna originally was that we maybe wouldn't have the table, but we'd have the five chairs whatever out in some kind of a format. But as you can see now, these are not lined up, but what we will do is the cameras will be focused on a mid shot, a head and shoulders shot of each participant, so it will be as if the participant is speaking directly to Zoom, but then we can also have a wide shot showing everybody in the room together. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. So, and then behind them, do you envisage? So you don't have a video wall, but do you envisage that we'd have the pop-ups of the different partners? You know, the ICS, ourselves, in the background, so that when people see.
Yeah, but what we can actually layer that onto the screen without having to be on a video wall. So any branding that you wish can be permanently on the screen, or can be on the set. So any branding requirements, Tim, that you have like that, honestly, just do forward them through. We will work that out with you in advance, that you're happy with how it's displayed. We can layer up lots of things. So for example, if you're seeing here now the way we have a little logo, but we could have a list of logos permanently on the top of the screen, or anything, and the guests can be in front of them, or the guests can be behind them, or they can be on tickers on the bottom rolling, or we can make a background to these. But you see the way we have this. So you're looking at me now, and you can see over to the right here, I've got the branding of this, but this could be, you know, that light background of the logos replicated.
Yes.
You know, like you see in the back of like the footballer at the end of the match.
I appreciate that what you see on screen. Just in terms behind the speakers, when you're looking at that wide shot, what will be the imagery behind them?
Well, we were just going to have those as more like you know, like tight shots of the speakers in boxes. It was going to be a wooden wall. It can be a black wall if you wish, but we do the logos and all that kind of thing. We do it digitally rather than on a video wall. You know, I mean, you can use pop-ups if you want to bring them or anything like that as well, but it kind of looks better digitally. I mean, it's not. I know I'm not quite answering. You're not going to see what I'm telling you about here, right here now, in this thing, but yeah, the background won't be a wall of logos, but we can make in these boxes, and then we can put a wall of logos.
I know exactly how the boxes work. It's just I'm just thinking of the image that people see behind the speakers. People do always look behind it, but again, we can do
that on screens. We have like large television screens if you wish, and we can. That's stuff for the run up in the week to it. We can show you that, and you can decide if that's what you want and stuff like that. Okay.
Again, are you going to talk about the private chat now or later?
If you, I don't know, if you want to just try it now, since you have already the stage.
Yeah. So our experience with the private chat, for most of the events, it's Eventbrite and Zoom registered, so people just do the private chat in Zoom. There's always considerable interest in people putting up private chat, and the moderator just picks and chooses the right questions to ask. In terms of live streaming, you have the capacity for that for private chat as well. So, it's something that I think is important. But again, you want to try and make it as interactive as possible. Now,
Giada, I'm only speaking to you. He can't hear me at the moment. There's only 10 minutes left on this meeting, just to let you know about that. We have to send out another link if you wish to continue.
So sometimes you have to encourage people to do the private chat and maybe put in questions to start the ball rolling. But I think that as much interaction where possible of that would be important.
I don't know. I mean, as I said, I think I'm gonna be like super busy on the day, and since I'm even participating to the first panel, I was actually like going to leave any interactions in the chat or whatever to you or to Sean or whoever would have the time to do it. I just I don't want to be mean, but I'm just going to be so overwhelmed by work and things that I don't want to take anything more than what I know I can manage. So I mean, I can we can like set, for example, for each of the panel, maybe just as a poll or something to pass on the screen in order for the people to actually get awake and maybe just answer one question. It is something that we can discuss on the side if you want, and we can decide about it. If it is, and also if the other organizers are okay with that. And I'm more than happy to help. But the only thing that I'm going to say, I'm not gonna be responsible for that on the day, because if not, it's just gonna drive me crazy.
Okay.
I think, can I just interrupt there?
Yeah. Yes, Anna.
Yeah, I just think, like, I mean, we have a bit of a list, and we have Darren now. So, I mean, me and Jada and Darren will look at this, what kind of needs to be done, and divide it up amongst ourselves and see as well. I mean, most things will really be done by me and Darren on location on the day. And so all these kind of questions that you have, if you forward them to Jada, and we will talk about them. I think the most interesting thing about this format is that I'll be able to speak to all of the speakers without anybody hearing. So hopefully that should be a way in which to kind of clarify communication amongst kind of ourselves.
I just think, Cormac, you said you have to send another Zoom link just because this meeting.
Yes, I just we haven't activated the Pro account again just yet. So if this meeting goes off, folks, you'll receive another link immediately. Anna and Jada, this won't affect you, but just for everybody else, if the meeting does end, you'll get a new link. Just join straight away, please.
I could just say quickly in terms of what Tim said there, and just following on from what Anna said, I've quite a bit of experience recently of chairing conferences, and a major responsibility I had there was the promotion of dialogue and the promotion of people engaging with the chat function. So I have a fairly good idea of how to do that, and I mean, I'd be more than happy to take on that responsibility in terms of feeding in questions and constantly encouraging people to use that function.
Good.
And that's why I involved you. I can see Jeanette and Mary with their hands up.
I think Jeanette was first.
Yeah, I'll get in if that's okay before. I'm fielding a small gap in childcare, so I might have missed something just then. So apologies if my question is asking you to repeat yourself. But I was wondering, firstly, about this all looks great. It looks really, really good, and it does make such a difference, I think, to have kind of a really professional layout. So I'm a bit new to this. Again, another apology if this question is a bit basic, but I was just interested in the numbers. So participants will be on Zoom, is that correct? But presenters and so on will be on the interface. And so in terms of how that, and I know, Jada, you said you were keen not to have the kind of webinar approach where people are kind of, and you don't know how many people are in a session, or so I was just wondering how that would work in terms of the layout. If there's, say, 30 people in a session watching from Zoom, how does that look in terms of, say, discussions and questions and things? I can see how we are now, but I guess there's only 5 of us. So I was just, will it be kind of, if there were a lot of people, would they still be visible on Zoom?
Cormac, I think we can customize that. It's just since we are expecting I hope there will be a lot of attendees. It might be a little bit more complicated to activate the video for everyone. But Cormac, I think that is an option that we would
Okay,
totally be able to do it.
Sorry, so I just missed that there, but to answer your question, I know you're all seeing, you guys are all in today as participants, so that we can hear and see you, okay? But on the Zoom meeting, on the Zoom webinar on the day, what will happen is the people will be in as attendees, so we won't see them. The only screen you will see is, the one that has Anna and Jad on it now, that will be full screen, and they won't see even themselves up the top or anything like that. It will just be a full broadcast of what we want them to see exactly. So that's the way it's going to work. If we want to see somebody who's remotely and watching on Zoom, we upgrade them to a participant, and then we can bring in their video. We usually get people to raise hands and ask questions. So normally how it would look would be, it would be, you know, this screen, whatever mix of people we have here, and that's the only thing people would see, full screen on their Zoom. And we would just hear questions coming from people. We can get them to write in the chat and say, look, I'd like to ask a question. We then unmute their mic, but we don't see them. If we do need to see them, we elevate them to be a participant. So we have more control. We have more control over how Zoom looks than we have today. That's just because we want to see all of you guys here, okay? But we do have complete control over exactly how we want it to look, and that is something we will determine in the days running up to the event.
And also what we have seen today that you showed us when you gave us the first demo was that in the room there are screens where we can pass the questions that are coming on the chat, so for the moderators it's easier to just read the questions on the screen and pick whatever questions come from the audience and ask them to the panel.
Yeah. So we can have an in-ears to the presenters, or we can just monitor them, or just literally they all are sitting facing forward and they will just see, next question is coming from John in Montreal. And the question can be written up on the screen, stuff like that. So we have lots of communication systems, and we can even let the people, the panelists downstairs who are remotely in our studio or who are locally in our studio, we can even let them see what's happening on Zoom if they wish to as well. So, but that's
can I just come in there?
Yes.
In terms of asking the question, follow on from that. So, in terms of the European University Conference, the only people who were on Zoom were the moderators and the speakers. Everybody else got a link to live stream, and then they were able to provide chat from that. So you were not able to see their faces at all.
Yeah.
Is that?
That's possible. We could do any mix of that, and we frequently do. So we could do any mix of that for you. But yeah, we can set it so that people can still watch in Zoom, but you don't see their faces as well. But we can also, and we are at the moment, streaming to YouTube as well at the same time. We can stream to Facebook at the same time as well. We can go out to multiple destinations. So it is whatever you require and think's going to be the best thing for people. I think if everybody, personally, if everybody is in Zoom in this, the survey functions and everything in Zoom are brilliant. They're really and we have an advanced knowledge of those, and it's really terrific the way it just pops up on the screen, and you're expecting very little technically of the person who's attending the event. It just pops up on the screen. They choose the answer or they write the question or whatever. And we always try to ask the least technically of people, because most people are not interested in technology. They're just interested in the subject or whatever it is. So we try and do the least barrier to entry. But yeah, that's no problem. We're live streaming on YouTube now, and they can have the chat as well. But just to reiterate, and the point is, the meeting's ended. So Giada, that we'll send the link right now. Richard, will you?
It's been sent. It's already been sent.
They have the link now. It's been sent to them. Sorry about that. We thought we had our Pro one activated, but we must have had to stop the software and restart it.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Are you happy? Yeah, they're very nice. Yeah. The video. So we've restarted. We've started the new meeting now. Okay. Richard, is it going? Apologies for this is annoying, but
I'd just be one second.
Are you going, Richard? So that meeting started and so on. Hopefully people will attend. Let them all in, Richard. Okay. So hopefully we're back. I'll just do I mean, Richard, if you'd like to show people this, we could downgrade them to attendees. Would you like to do that?
Just to jump in to say...
oh, it's a function of webinars, yes. Yeah.
I agree with you, Cormac, on the Zoom polls. They're fantastic. I use them a lot in lecturing, and I suppose through doing the polls, people attending would be able to see how many other people are there. So as an attendee at events, I really like to know, to get a feel of kind of how big the audience is, just because, you know, I guess it's kind of a throwback to face, but I suppose through doing a poll, you would see that there's X number of other attendees watching, and that would be great. So yeah, I think that's a good point.
Yeah, we had to work out. It was funny, but with the Zoom stuff, funny. This template that we have up here is obviously designed for this was for a financial AGM, which had legal implications, and so we needed to we can really do it to an advanced level where we can ensure that one viewer only has one legitimate vote. Do you know what I mean? So if people are voting onto boards and approving minutes and things, we had to be able to demonstrate that. And we actually got Zoom to change the way they did stuff for us. So Zoom changed the back end of their system for our legal requirements, which was great. Because we needed to verify votes on air, live on air, before the meeting ended. And what we can even do now is we can even download the result of a vote while the meeting's happening, whereas beforehand we could only download it afterwards, you know. And obviously with Zoom, the best thing about their survey thing is we can collect, we can set it to be the people vote on things anonymously, or that you see who voted on them, or that you only record the result and all of that kind of business, and we can collect all of that and give that to you as a Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, I'm back on, yes.
Yeah, so you'll have a full record of who attended, how many people stayed on, what way they voted, how the votes went, and all of that kind of business. And we will walk you through that in the days up to the meeting to ensure that it's set up exactly as you want it to be, so that you can mine data from it and find out how successfully people participated in your your questions online as well. We've also got lots of things that we can do along the bottom of the screen. I'll just show you some now. Like if you want to encourage people, you know, even while speakers are happening, if our producers on the show on the day want to give messages to our audience, we can do stuff like this. I'm just going to put on a ticker, but we can have lots of professional kind of things. So here's a ticker going along, please submit your questions now, or if you want, it is really great. We're all about interactivity here. Actually, we do a lot of advanced audience interactivity, so people do like to see themselves. I mean, even if you want people, comments coming on that are not for the panelists, but we can do things like this where, say, like John from Montreal, I don't know why I picked that, but anyway, John from Montreal is getting chosen again. He's written comments, but if we want everybody to see those comments, we can just put them up. John from Montreal says, great, I'm really enjoying this, or I'd like to hear more from whatever, or John says hello to whatever. We can keep that kind of thing going up so people are name checked, for their contributions during the day, but they don't all have to be addressed to the panelists. So that's quite nice, and we can have lots of graphics coming up in different ways and little boxes on the screens, so that if people are saying things, we can acknowledge that, which people like a lot of the time. And we can even set it that Giada can do that from Italy, and feed into our system, keep writing the tickers, and we can distribute the work out amongst ourselves. So
okay, I know Mary had a question too. I have a question too.
Hi, thanks very much, Cormac. It looks great, it really does. Cheers. And thanks to Giada and Darren and Anna as well for all the work in planning this. I know it's been a monumental undertaking, but it really does look great. I was interested in the question about the audience as well, what you would see as an audience member, so you've clarified that. But I think the more interactive it can be, like that ticker tape is really cool. And if that can be even personalized a bit to allow people to, I don't know, comment or greet each other or whatever, I think that would add to the interactivity that we could have. And I think on the chat issue, I think the moderator is critical there as well, in terms of encouraging people to make questions, and we can definitely highlight that for the moderator in advance. I just had a technical question. When I got in the first time, I was asked to sign up to Zoom. Will that happen?
So it's a choice. We can set it that you don't need to sign up to Zoom. We can set it that you can do it within a web browser and all that kind of business. Yeah. I have to say to you that there are limitations, pluses and minuses to everything, and we had to investigate very deeply for this Mullingar Credit Union. In the end, we had 300 people, I think, on this credit union thing, and everybody managed to sign up for it. The benefit of signing up for a Zoom account, even you don't have to download their software or anything, you can still access it from a web browser. The benefit of signing up for it is that you get more survey functionality. So, you know, things like that. I will recheck everything, my information, and in the week coming up to it, I will send you a thing of this is the benefit of doing this and this is not. But what we found was that everybody was able to sign up for it. Some people watched it on a web browser, some people didn't. Some people have a problem with downloading software onto the computer. And there was an old story about Zoom quite a while ago, you know, that it was insecure. That was fixed very, very quickly. And it is, we've used all of them, WebEx and Cisco and all of these things, and none of them are Apache and Zoom, to be honest. And we've paid for them all in the past, unfortunately. But yeah, so we will do it. But we found that even elderly people in the country were able to sign up for Zoom, and we can send out something to everybody in advance, telling them, you know, like how to do it, a little demo if they want, and you just get more survey. The survey's more functional from doing that. But if you prefer, we can set it that people don't even have to do that as well.
I take your advice on it totally. But I think that the critical thing would be just to alert people that they should sign up for X, Y, and Z reasons. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when you know, I just worry that it would put people off.
Yes, we have all of this on everything we do, and it's always the same concern. It's a legitimate concern for people, and actually that's what a big thing was. We found in the end was that some people really had a problem. They didn't want the software downloaded to their computer or whatever. I think even from a point of view of, like, most people's computers are chock-a-block. Nobody deletes their photographs anything. People have no space to download things, whatever. So we actually started out with Zoom that even if they don't download it, if they sign in, they have access to the full functionality of the surveys, even if they participate online. So I will, in the week of it, construct a document that you can send out to anybody who's signed up in Eventbrite, you know, and we keep it very simple. I think what we had to do is, and we actually, if we have to, we'll make an explainer video that you can send to people as well. We had to do that for the credit union, saying, look, you go here, you press this, and you do that. And we find that like it takes 2 pages to write that, whereas it takes a 30-second video, and people can just keep the video on short. So whatever you need to simplify and make it, just please ask, and we'll gladly do it. Okay.
That's perfect.
Is it not usually the case that when you register for a conference that you're invited to give your consent or withhold your consent to any further use being made of the information that you provide on the registration form? Maybe we're not talking about the same thing.
No, but you are talking about the issues around people are thinking. Anytime you give over your, I know it applies to me as well. Anytime I give over my email address, you know, if you go on to, I always look for that tick box that goes, I do not wish my data to be shared. I do not wish, you know, all of that kind of business. So yes, that's a very legitimate concern. So we can say that, even, can't we, that you know, like, your information will not be passed on or shared or anything like that, you know. Okay.
I think Eventbrite has already everything settled in that sense, so that's also why I will be really keen on using Eventbrite to take on the registrations, and also because, as I said this morning to Cormac, it will allow us, me, Darren and Anna, to communicate with all the attendees without having to write them individually. You can just write one single email and email everyone that is registered, so that we also can keep count of how many people we have, and communicating easily with everyone from September onward. I'll probably, it's probably time to set up all these details, so I'm going to probably set up Eventbrite next week. I'm going to circulate maybe the draft and everything to see if you are happy with, I don't know, the picture and all the details that I'm putting on, because also that needs to be taken care of. I will do.
Great.
Sonette has her hands raised.
Yeah, I had a kind of what's the word? A superficial question about the colours, and you might have just answered it as I was raising my hand when you were talking about imagery, and I know Tim mentioned imagery as well. So I was just interested in whether the team had given thought to colours yet and background. It's really exciting to think of how it can be kind of branded and tailored for the conference.
Yeah, I think like we have that IAS's color is mainly blue, and the Young Foundation colors, if I think about the logo, are red and white, and Cardiff University, we are red. So we can actually, I don't know, I was thinking the way you see us, like the picture of the screen, that where Anna, Cormac and I are, can be blue with all the white stripe on the top, and then the logos in red with the IASIS logo in blue. That can be, but like I would, for example, prefer the blue of IASIS for the big part of the screen. I don't know what you think about.
I mean, if you send us all of your branding things, we will do some mock-ups for you, and we could even do an online session like this. We're very happy to do it with whoever wants to attend, where we can move things around the screen and squabble and go, no, down there, up there, whatever. I mean, and it can literally look like anything you want. It doesn't have to be a still either. It can be a slightly animated version of your logo or things like that, and we can do all kinds of really fancy, anything you see on a fancy television show, we can do it. But obviously some of that's distracting, but we'll give you options. We'll send us your branding and we'll work through it with you, and like we're quite anal about it. We do want it to look really well. As a matter of fact, to me, this is quite boring what we have here, but it's a financial AGM. You want it to look stable, solid, and whatever. Yeah. But we'll reflect your entire colours, and if you've got like lots of little things like that, we'll have it, and we'll come back to you and show you options, and we'll only be happy when you are.
Will we not need some green and gold?
The only thing I was actually thinking is in terms of the lunch break, and that's a question that I haven't asked Cormac yet, so it is something new that I'm thinking about, because we'll have a kind of I don't know now how long it will be, but probably 1 hour and something in terms of lunch break, where I wouldn't want for the people to go offline and reconnect. So is there any way that we can, for example, I don't know, show a video, playing some music or something like that during the lunch?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally. Yeah, you can do that if you wish. And I was something I wanted to say to you, and like again, just referring back to World Television, because that's where we come from. We always have more VTs and material and background information than we need, because I've actually had programs drop off air on terrestrial broadcasters, and we've had backups for that, and stuff, and things always plan for things to go wrong, and you'd be fine. Usually never have to use it. The day you don't is whatever. So that's even on Zoom, we have it that we always have a co-host off site. So let's say everything goes down in our building and the power trips, well, the meeting won't stop. Things like that, because if the meeting stops like it did there, we have to it's okay getting 8 people back on or whatever we are here, but you can't get 300 on. We need that meeting to continue, so we've even worked out ways of that. But the other thing is, let's say Giada's link went down, we have to figure out another way to get Giada connected, and she's maybe talking, we might need some background stuff. So if you've got stuff from your organisation that we can throw in to buy us 2 or 3 minutes to figure out technical problems, that's very good. And if you've any other plans over lunch for anything, or whatever, I mean, you can have a performer in if you want, whatever, we can get in a performer if you want. You can have entertainment, whatever's for people, or do whatever things. You can run a quiz with a prize. on Zoom, I don't know why I'm saying that, because the work I'm going to give myself doing that, but anyway, you could, if you want to have a competition for people with a prize or something like that, you could do that. You know, we could figure out some way of doing it. Whatever, you know, keeps your audience there. But definitely, if you've got material, let's have it. You know, even if it is something, looking at a long video, even if it's not completely relevant, is better than just looking at a screen going back soon. You know.
I can see Tim as his.
Yeah, I think that. Sorry. I was just going to say that we've got lots of material. Speaking on behalf of the Hume Foundation, and we're very pleased to be associated with this conference and with the association. We've lots of material from Phil Coulter singing "The Town I Love So Well."
Well, fantastic, yes.
Much more serious stuff, which we used, you know, in the short intervals between the various sessions, and it worked seamlessly. And we can certainly provide you with some of that kind of material if you want to, kind of gap fillers, if you like.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. And I'd say one of the benefits of using Zoom is that, you know, like we pay for the webinar feature and all that kind of stuff, and we can put out anything without coming into copyright problems. Sometimes if we stream on YouTube, and you know, it let's say you're using one of Phil's well-known tunes, you know, like they used to take the YouTube stream down and go, "You've incurred our copyright" or whatever, but they usually don't now. They usually go, "Look, there's a copyright claim against your thing." But just, I want to alert you of that it could maybe interrupt a YouTube thing, or there's a potential for it, but it won't on a Zoom thing. We can use whatever we want because we just pay the webinar fee, and like we could, you know, do whatever we wish with it. So that's good that the audience are mostly going to be on Zoom anyway. So.
Anything else? I can see the team still with his hands up. So, and also Sinead. Sorry, Sinead.
We're just unmuting
Thank
now.
you. Sorry, I have to go now. Sorry. Thank you. See you all soon. Bye.
Ciao, Sinead.
Bye, Sinead.
Tim.
Sorry, Tim. We're just going to unmute you, Tim. Apologies. Tim, do you need to unmute yourself, Tim, on your mic first? We've asked you to unmute, Tim.
There it is now, is it?
There you go. Okay.
No, I was just going I will send a Dropbox of the range of videos we have, which run from Bono, which is a minute and two, to a compilation of John's European Nobel speeches, Ursula von der Leyen speaking about John Hume. So they're very relevant. They're European videos. So they're already packaged and edited and can be put up as we decide. Or you can, as Sean says, have them in reserve if something technically goes wrong. Yeah. So they're very relevant. But obviously, University EUI also showed a video of their college during the course of the conference, and obviously IACS or UCC and others may want to do the same.
Yeah, great. Okay. Yeah, those things are all really helpful. Just to reassure you as well, we run 2 separate internet connections here in the building. We have about 10 computers. We run stuff off site, and we do try to, you know, it's the internet. We try to mitigate for everything. We try and plan for everything, and we run those videos off a separate computer, so that if it was the main computer, it went down the videos. And it also means that, like, say for example, we need to do a behind stage chat whenever videos are on. We can do that as well, and for anybody who's connected remotely as well. Like, for example, I'm just going to show you something here. I'm going to talk to Giada only, but not to the Zoom audience. So we've got all kinds of backstage worldwide remote options. So Giada, if you would say, Cormac is now talking to me but not to you. Giada,
Cormac is talking to me but not to you.
There you go. So you see, even for a presenter, even if it's somebody down the floor, we can talk to them and just go, look, we're going to need you to speak for another 3 minutes because our next thing is not ready, or we're going to cut you short, and all of that kind of business. And we can do that for people here in the studio, and we can do it for anybody remotely as well. Okay, so Yeah, so there you go. We've come up against most things at this stage, I have to say, you know. And with computers, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. So the only way to do it is to have lots of the stuff and lots of solutions for the things that normally do go wrong. The only thing we can't fix is if Zoom have a short of an outage or whatever, but that would be worldwide. You know, it does happen. Something happened recently. Do you remember about a month ago? You know, a huge tech company went down and there was an outage on Google and all of that kind of stuff. But short of that, we are covered for nearly everything else.
Okay. I don't know if anyone has another question. Jonathan, you have been awfully quiet.
No, I'm good. I'm sitting back and absorbing the information, so it all seems pretty clear to me. I think. Yeah, no, it looks great. I think I've got the gist. I just need to think of clever things to say now. You've got all the tech handled. I just need to think of something insightful to contribute.
So 100%. Now, what just I want to say, I hope you are all as happy as me and Dana were when we saw this, and we just thought, okay, this is going to be the event of the year.
No,
we absolutely want to do it like this. And for now, I'm going to update you on all that is going to happen next, but the plan is that with Anna and Darren we are going to have a meeting on the side, trying to split a little bit the tasks, because there will be probably press release, so that we can start communicating about the event, that we can start to put the information out there that this is going to happen and that it's going to happen. I'm also going to send you all the final list of the speakers. I'm going to set up the Eventbrite, and then we are going to maybe discuss about the logos and colors and everything, but that can probably happen, I don't know, in 3 or 4 weeks. It doesn't need to happen right now. And what else? I had something else in mind that escaped me. It's going to be back. For anything else, now I think you have Cormac's email address. If you need to ask any direct question, I'm sure you can. If you can only maybe just CC me in, so that I can just maybe, if there is a quicker that I can answer, I will answer myself without making Cormac overboard with the questions and stuff and everything. So me and Anna were the brain a little bit behind all of this, so it's up to us to take all the hard work, and let's just hope that this is going to go as planned, because it really does look amazing, and I'm looking forward to it.
Brilliant. Thanks, Giada. It looks really great. I'm sure it'll be fantastic.
Yeah, no, really appreciate all the work. One thing, Giada, is there, given obviously August is traditional holiday month, is there any, obviously there's things to be formalised, but would there be a save the date? Obviously, I think our database is up to about 1,600 now from people who participated in events to date, as well as other things. So, if there's anything we could send out just to save the date, which just gives a snapshot of the conference and maybe a couple of the speakers, just to send out in advance, might be useful.
Yes, of course, we can, let's say that press release, it's going to be a sort of text that we can all use in order maybe to write emails, to write, I don't know, to tweet, and to write a blog. Maybe, yes, another thing that I wanted to ask Mary and Jonathan, can we maybe also write a blog post like I did last year for my other event, and put it on the website of IASIS saying, okay, this is going to happen on that day, this is the line of speakers, this is what we are going to discuss, and maybe just to put a link, so it just helps the advertising and everything.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
that would be good. Yeah.
Okay, so we're definitely going to do it, and yes, so Tim and Sean, I'm going to try to have at least this text ready by Wednesday next week.
Okay, good.
Perfect. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you so much, Cormac. This morning it was amazing, and you prepared everything way above and beyond what
Oh no, it's great. We're excited to be involved. You know, we love doing this stuff. We love doing live things, especially, and this seems like it's going to be really interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. Can I ask one last question? If any speakers, I know your keynote speaker may have slides and all of those kind of things, and we'll help with all of that. But are any of your speakers go in the room going to need graphics or anything? Are they going to need to illustrate anything they talk about, or is it going to be more discussion completely?
I would push for it to be more discussion and then maybe the keynote using like I say, using slides or any other graphics information if it is required, if that's the desire. But I don't know, Mary, or what do you think? But
that would be my suggestion as well. Giada, that it would be more discursive and less about slides and presentations. So I think
bells and whistles are the videos, aren't they? Really, that's and then we're kind of speaking to and around those. So I feel like that would, a kind of discussion-based format rather than.
Okay, but remember, in that discussion-based format, as you notice, we can push speakers anywhere around a screen. You know, like I'm just switched to whatever. But it means, like on this screen, if there was something that the foundation or whatever wanted to say, you know, or to jog people about what's coming up, you know, you can briefly do that kind of stuff as well. You can put your 3 speakers down the side of the screen or 2 speakers, and you can have, you know, coming up after lunch. We can do lots of little things like that can add to the production values if it's useful, or something you want to draw people's attention to, or if there's another upcoming event and things like that. So you can give us anything like that you want, and it can be on call. You know, you go look, just to make it more interesting now, if you want to, you just push up that thing about what's going to come up in this afternoon, you know, or that stuff. Just let you know that functions there as well.
Great. And Sean, I can't see team anymore, but just because the foundation found the moderators, maybe you can just update them on what you saw this morning on the details, for example, also in terms of the reactions, if they are available, it would be great, and all these kind of technical details that we discussed this morning, because I don't have their emails and well, they were in touch with you, so it would be really kind if you can do that for me, please.
Okay, yes. Yeah, we'll do that.
Great.
Okay.
And thanks so much for all the help, Anna, and for Darren to come in and just offering really help when it was really, really needed, because when I saw just all the tasks lining up, I started to panic.
Okay.
I'm never going to be able to do this. So it's great.
I must leave now.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Thanks, everyone. Thanks,
okay. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Grazie.
Okay, so Richard's going to end the Zoom meeting. So the Zoom meeting's ended, but Giada and Anna, obviously, you're still with us. One thing I thought might be actually good is, you know, if you have a speaker on a screen, maybe a little biography or something of them comes up at some points while they're, you know, that kind of thing. You know, the 2-line kind of thing that goes, you know, John from Montreal, like poor John from Montreal, but it is associate professor of politics and history or whatever, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, Cormac, for the titles, because when I signed in my name, I signed in my whole name, and then it just says Anna.
No, Anna, we tailor that. We did. So you signed in your whole name, but that's just your link.
I'm guessing some people want, you know, their title.
Professor. We do dental conferences, and they're very keen on the whole titles. So that's we enter that, Anna. As you see, I've in mine and Cormac O'Kane, whatever. But I just threw those up, and obviously we can completely brand those to whatever you desire.
Can you please put me back to see you, because I still have
yes, okay. Oh, so you're off the Zoom now. So listen, I'm just going to. Here you go. And I'm going to put.
Output 1, or
put output 1. Okay, that should be. Jazz back, and Anna should be back, and hopefully I'll put up your quality, Anna. So like Giada, when we were on, your internet quality dropped a bit, so I dropped the quality of the image I was sending back to you to maximise, to stop your camera stuttering, okay? So I've just put it up in quality again now, so we can do things like that in the background as well.
Okay, so now thanks so much, and sorry for all the questions from the Young Foundation.
It's good.
As I was
good.
imagining.
It's good. I actually worry if we don't.
Yeah.
If we don't get this stuff, because it means people just aren't thinking about the things that they then want too late. You know, it's terrible whenever you're about 5 minutes before you go on air and somebody goes, "Do you know the way we need? Can you put this?" And you go, "Ah," you know. So no, we're really happy about all that. You know.
Yes. Yeah. So, and now just to make sure I know what you need, I just don't want, you know, because if I start sending you 3,000 emails with a different kind of information, it's just going to be confusing for everyone. So what you need at the moment would be the logos then, in order to
any branding things you want us to look at and try to make into a visual look that's going to do it for you. That'd be good.
So I'm going to send you an email titled branding.
Great.
The conference, and I'm going to send it to you, and that's the first thing I'm going to do. In terms of the people that have to video themselves, for then me sending you the video, what do I need to ask them exactly?
Okay, well, I think you need to ask them how they're going to video themselves first, because as we can see here, even you know, there's a difference between your laptop and like Anna's isn't high def, but yours is. So we need to find out, you know, ask them what they're going to video themselves with before they do it. Okay, and it
and
might...
you were able to help them with that though, like.
Yeah. I mean, if you want us to link up
and record it,
do you know what? We'll even link up and record it for them. You know the way you're coming in here live. If they're having trouble with it, it just depends on how their technical expertise, you know, their technical level of ability. But if they want to, we can even record it, like the way you guys are coming in, and edit it afterwards. Okay, so
is that easier? Is that easier for you? That's the main thing.
Well, at least it knows. Listen, at least we know what we're getting then, rather than waiting for it. So even if they're going to record it, let's link up with them. Let's link up. Say if we do a session like we're doing now, and we link up and we even go, look, we're agreed on that. That looks good. You sound good. You know, people always put the at least Anna, you've closed the curtain, but people normally don't close the curtain and then the whole thing's exposed for the window and their face is dark, or they're too close from the mic, or there's a hum from the laptop. So if we link up with them and just and see it, then if we go, that's great. No, you carry on recording. That's fantastic. Just send us it, or we'll just go, look, we'll just record it over the internet now, and we'll fix it all up. So just let us know when, and hopefully sometime in August. Is that okay?
Yeah, because I'm going to, you see, in order, because it is 6 people that then we have to like put together, in the sense 3 for the first panel and 3 for the second. Then it can be 4. I still have to decide how long this is going to take, and to make things easier. The less, probably the better. But I'm going to email them like what is.
Sorry, are the 6 people in Belfast? Are you talking about, or no? Are they?
No, making the videos.
6 people making the videos. So okay, right. So I thought there was a keynote speaker. So this is interesting. So you've got six videos you have to make, not one. I thought it was the keynote speaker.
The small videos that will introduce the 2 panels.
Okay. So yeah, let's do them bit by bit. As you get people, we'll record them then, and we'll look at each of those 6 people. Throughout August, yeah.
But, listen, it looks like, by the way, that the keynote speaker will come in person to Belfast. So that's what I'm going to ask, because it's gonna probably be easier just to have one person doing it face to face, and also like we just have 2 names. I have to decide on which one, and the third thing was that because I knew that Michel Barnier is in Ireland at the time of the conference, so I was trying to get him.
Wow.
It's actually, at the moment, it doesn't reply, so I need a B plan and to be put into place like by next week. Because
that would be incredible if we can, like, I mean, yeah, that would be brilliant. And even if they can't arrive on that day or whatever, I mean, if they want to come here or whatever, and we
as soon as I have, because the other two options are also really high profile people and very good options. So I just need to decide with Mary and with Anna and with Darren who is going, who do we have, who do we want, because they are both good. So,
yeah.
But would there be a preference for you for Cormac if they're there live or if they're online? Considering everything else.
You're addressing the question to me, Anna?
Yeah.
No, but I think in a very important keynote address, if somebody can do it, what we normally do for it is we normally would, if we can get them beforehand, we get them to record beforehand, and then we put a slide in between, at the end of the keynote speech, and then we go live to them for the questions and answers. Is it a situation where a keynote speaker would give an address and then take questions from the panel, or is that happening in this instance, Jada?
Would the keynote?
Can you repeat the question?
So you're saying that the keynote is going to do it live?
Yeah, no. Will the keynote speaker give their speech and then take questions live?
Well, if it is possible, I'd like to. If it is live, if it is not live.
No. But what we can do? Yeah, if it's not live, but I mean, what we can even do is sometimes what we like to do is if in a long keynote address or whatever, even if the person is here, we record it in advance, but then at the end of it we'll go live to them for the questions and answers. So even if there was a case, in that instance, imagine if the person can't come on the day and they can come a few days earlier or something like that, we could record their keynote address and then we could cut to them like we're cutting to you here if they wanted to take the questions and answers after, remotely, if he's back in, Brussels or wherever,
Yes, okay. I'll check, and that's what I originally told Barnier, by the way, that if he wasn't available, we could have done it pre-recorded and everything. But
or
yes,
we could even just do it live remotely. I mean, if he wants, we can do it live remotely as well.
Yeah. But by the way, the thing is, I don't want it to be more than 30 minutes because it's the end of the event. We are all going to be super tired, and nobody will listen.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so that's a kind of a danger, because some people will ask difficult questions, maybe.
Yeah, but you can. We can. Perhaps in that instance, the questions could be fielded through, like, say, Giada or something. So you curate the questions. The questions are submitted written, and then Giada goes, "Well, we've got an interesting question here from such and such a person." So, you can control it as well. But that would be exciting if you could get him, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
100%. And the only other thing, since it's only the three of us, he has just sent us an email saying that, since IASIS is the one paying for most of the event, we just might be a little bit conscious that it doesn't need to be HUM prevailing, because the HUM Foundation is putting in some money, but we are paying for most of it. So
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're working to you,
not
so
too much on HUM.
the branding of the branding, just it'll be to your approval, So, I mean, but funders, people, everybody understands that the person who's paying the most for the event is the most recognised. It's only fair.
Yes, of course. No, yes, of course. So,
but you have videos then? Do you have videos and things like that
no, we need to study something about it, and I do actually have an idea at the moment.
But so even if if you could, if it's not a video, even if there's photographs and stuff that we can put into a slideshow or something, that can be used as backup material, with text under them, that's all possible as well.
Yes, no, that's great. And the only other thing that I wanted to say, it's of course okay for the payment. We have quickly emailed, and you said half or a little bit more of it before the event and the rest after the event happens. So that's absolutely good. So you just send me your IBAN and everything, and IASIS will do the payment for you.
Oh yeah, great. Okay, fantastic. Okay, that's good then.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, so that's all great, and I thank you so much. So I'm going to proceed with those logos, and that trying to rely with the people that have to do the video and give them the instructions and everything. Do you allow me, just if they want to get in touch with you, to,
That's fine.
give your email address?
That's absolutely fine. Yeah, we like it stops us from messing up on air if people have questions, relevant questions. The one question I couldn't answer in the meeting was, was it Tim? I think he was talking about having a video wall or branding behind it. I mean, we can do that in so many other.
It becomes too messy.
It'll just. I think if we do it virtually here, you know, I mean, you see above the boxes that we're on now, there could be a list of logos or whatever, and it could be done so much nicer, you know, like than putting in. We can put in physical things if you want, but it's kind of it is a bit cheaper looking, you know. We can put in a TV as well in the corner if you want, you know, so there's a television. There will be. There can be up to 3 televisions in that room. And we can pan across from them and have logos on them or whatever you want. But
for me, it's actually really good just to have a black background and the rest just like be online and just ignoring what is said.
Okay. So are you saying do you want a black background rather than the wooden background?
Yeah, or the wood also.
Whichever you choose, you've got the choice of both there. Okay.
Yeah, I think as well for the feeling of the discussion and that should be the focus, you know. So I really think the whole logos being in the background is me nor Jada like that idea. I think he just needs the Hume thing to be there, you know. But we'll put it in digitally.
Yeah, it looks great, and we can make them opaque, you know, and sort of like they can look like watermarks and things, you know. So
yeah, that was a really nice idea that you were saying. I think we'll definitely figure that out, Jada.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. So just don't worry about that one.
Okay, that's fine. I see what you mean. Maybe don't forward me that email. Yeah. So.
At the end, it is, as I said, at the end, it is our idea. We decide.
Yeah, exactly.
And and if they want to do more, well, then you're paying for more.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. Okay, well look, if you're are you happy that
100%.
Yeah, that was really good, Cormac. That was
okay,
great.
great, yeah.
Yeah, and we have already received really good feedback on emails. So
yeah, the one thing they didn't see was just because we're not we buy the webinar with however many people you think you're going to be on it, just on the month of that we do it. There's no point in just having it all the time. So they didn't see, I don't think, the fact that it's just going to be literally and you can reassure them that it is literally going to be what you're seeing now. There won't be people up in the top and all of that kind of business. It will literally just be this screen on Zoom, you know, whatever we choose to flick between.
That was the only thing I thought about, because they didn't see the YouTube streaming.
Yeah. We can clip a bit of that if you want. We can clip a bit of that for you. We've got it. It's still streaming, so we can show you what it looks. Take a little clip of that.
No. I think it's fine.
Okay.
No, I have to attend to these mad children.
You've done well. Are you all? I mean, are they sleeping at night with the heat?
No. It's my friend is taking them. She's taking her own and my one, so she has 5 of them. So.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So
Poor Molly.
And where in Italy? Where in Italy are you, Giada, at the moment? Then
I am in the middle of the Alps, where I am from originally. Actually, it's just that. Well, you see, I don't know many people in Cardiff. I've only been living in Cardiff for 2 months before the pandemic. It didn't really give me any chances to have friends or meeting people or anything. So why would I be there alone like?
Yeah.
When you can work remotely. Yeah.
Exactly.
And be under the sun in the Alps, and my partner lives in here and everything. So it's all just makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Cardiff, I really needed to, and that's all.
Yeah, Wales, the Alps. Yeah, you could have just said that conversation could be just Wales, the Alps, and I would have got the full meaning. Anyway, okay. So listen.
If you really want, let's see if it does, because that's something that I really like to show. Because it's not just the Alps. It's not any Alps. It is this.
Oh my word.
Holy moly.
Whereabouts? Is this Kermayere or somewhere, or?
No, it's a little bit further south. The village is called Vernante. It's a bit further south than Courmayeur, but I was born in
beautiful.
here.
Yeah,
That's home.
That's beautiful.
And that's work from the balcony and everything. So
Oh.
you see,
Gorgeous.
Vernante.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I can see why you're not coming back. I can see for the event. Anyway. Oh, super.
So yeah, thank you so much for everything. It was amazing and above
It was a pleasure.
and beyond as usual. I'm so happy we're doing this.
Great.
Thank
That's
you
great.
so much.
You're welcome.
Cheers,
look
guys.
look
Thank
forward to
you,
it, and
Cormac.
I'll wait for your email.